What it is, 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 it's the everyday nonsense. What it is, what it is, what it is, it's the everyday nonsense. What it is, what it is, what it is, it's the everyday nonsense.
Hey, welcome back to another episode, Everyday Nonsense Podcast. Today we have my buddy Brendan Ahern from the Pulling the Cork podcast, and now also the Cinema Showcase podcast.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even on Pulling the Cork anymore. I'm just doing Cinema Showcase with Justin. It's a
What is-
dumpster fire of a fucking podcast.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I agreed to do it when I was drunk. I like Justin a lot. And now I'm doing it. Like a lot of things in my life, I say yes, but then like I don't, like drunk Brendan doesn't make plans that sober Brendan's going to like really want to do. Usually those plans like, yeah, I'll go to the beach with you. They're not like, I'll start a podcast like a beach for years.
Right.
But here we are, and we had fun. We've done 2 episodes. So the first one came out. We had some technical difficulties. The second one's coming out next week.
Nice.
What is it about?
We're just doing like a movie every week, but kind of like deep cuts. Like there's no audience for this thing. Like honestly, there's nobody's going to want to watch it.
That's not true. You never know. But let me tell you something. I've learned that some people will watch anything.
Yeah. I mean, I when I heard the idea, obviously it was too late because I had some great names for you that could have possibly worked, you know. But I mean, then when I heard the name, I was like, oh,
It was because of Showcase Cinema and Review.
of course.
yeah.
That's where we're all from.
That's
you guys
awesome.
review, guys.
Yeah. So, and then we actually helped build. We did all the wiring
We did.
for the new. Well, it was the
you
new one back
fucking-
then.
Oh, for the new show when they redid it.
When
Yeah,
they redid it.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say for the Amazon building. I'm like, you fucking heathen.
Oh no!
no
Hey,
way.
my kid brother did though.
Oh, did he?
He did. He
Hey,
went.
hey, money's money.
Yeah, right.
Cash is cash.
hilarious.
Yeah, but I do Pulling the Cork. We've had that for like, I think we're on episode 163 we just did.
Wow.
Me, Matt Fitzmaurice, aka Fitzy, and then Danny Gillis. We usually have, you've been on, you were a guest. We had Alan the other day. We have like mostly local guys that we think are funny, basically, is what we do.
Yeah,
and we just shoot the shit. So like,
I like it.
sometimes it's an hour and a half, sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's 2.5. And then we have a Patreon. There's like 85 or 90 people in there or something like that. And they get an extra episode every week. And those are usually like an hour. Working hard for like $10 a weekend, basically. You know? And we do events. We just did a comedy show. With Will Noonan at it, some other people. We have a golf tournament. You're playing it next week.
Yes, I'm excited.
It's full, sold out, 144 people.
Awesome. We're sponsored in a whole.
Yeah, exactly. And comedy show that's for cystic fibrosis.
That's awesome.
And then my niece has CF. And then we sold out the comedy show. More people come to the events than listen to the show, but that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's a cool thing too is that you actually throw events for the Patreons. Like you have the Patreon party
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you do these things, and you know, and
It's an absolute fucking disaster of a party, by the way. It's just fucking like 50 drunk guys like who are just drooling all over each other pretty much. You know what I mean? Like
But I bet the beginning of the night's a lot of fun.
it's a lot of fun. This year, Al brought sandwiches from Durham. We started at my garage bar, and then we moved to the IA and
Nice.
Irish American in Malden, which is kind of our home base. And it was just a fucking. We throw little parties
time.
too. Like we
Yeah.
did an ugly sweater
right.
party that used to be Danny's party, and now it's ours.
Yeah.
Just Toys for Tots type of stuff. Like we like to get together with the people who listen to the show. The
Yeah,
good thing is
absolutely,
we
yeah.
kind of draw. Danny and I and Fitzy didn't grow up together. We didn't know each other like 3 years ago. I met Danny through his sister,
Okay.
and I'm like, I love this kid. I'm going to do something with him.
Yeah. Right.
And then Fitzy was the same. And so like we all kind of draw from different crowds of people. You know what I mean? Fitzy's from Somerville, Danny's from Malden, I'm from Melrose. So it's kind of like it's a happy mistake that's worked out because we draw from a lot of different like places.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right,
We have a lot of union guys listen to the show. I'm a pussy. I'm not a union guy. I couldn't screw in a light bulb. These are like, as my buddy says, these are like money counting, mandolin playing, guitar hands,
Yeah,
not hard working hands. You know what I mean? But we have a lot of those guys like that listen to the show, and it's got good. It's the sponsors and stuff, and it's
you guys. It's I watch the show every week. I love it. I think it's hilarious.
Yes.
I crack up.
Yeah.
And
I like doing it. It's like
Yeah.
we
Oh, that's
just
good.
like this. Like this is like therapy for us, I think, right? Like it's like
it's the hang.
it's
It
just
really
dude,
is.
it's like I look forward to seeing those guys every week.
Yeah.
And honestly, like that's just the fun part of it. You know what I mean? It's like having somebody else on the show and just shooting the shit and talking about different
Talking
stuff.
about
And
stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, they say, oh, what's the niche, right?
yeah, none.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I've been telling everybody. I says, the name of the show is Everyday Nonsense.
Yeah.
I says, our niche is that we have no niche. We're just talking about everyday shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, so before I had the pulling the cork, what happened was I was playing like I was, like any other guy. I got 3 kids. My daughter's 18. She's at college, and I was like, as guys, you need. What happens when you get married is like life's weird, right? It's like you grow up, you go to high school, you meet all these new people, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you go into the army or you go into like college. You meet all these other new people, right? And then you first your job and you're like, now you meet new people. Then all of a sudden your life is just like bang. It's just like fucking flattened out and like this is your life, right?
Yeah.
So I was like looking at something to do and I forget how it happened, but I started playing a little cornhole and like there were these cornhole nights and I'm like, oh, this is a good group of guys, all like blue collar guys. And like I started doing that. And then I'm like, I was going down to New York for work and I'm like, there's not a fucking cornhole podcast. Like there's professional cornhole. So I got one of my buddies. I'm like, let's just start it. I got all the shit for music to do it. And it became big. Like it was like we were getting flown to different places to do like to narrate the world championships and stuff like that.
yeah.
It's amazing.
But then I just stopped playing and I was like, this is getting, dude, it was like big enough that like a lot of people were like, it was great. I loved all the people that were involved with it, but like it was taking up a lot of time. And it was like, and then people wanted you to go to every event because they're like, we want the guys from Doghouse to come to this event.
Yeah.
And my wife was getting to be like, this is getting like fucking, you're not making real money doing
right,
this.
right,
Like,
right.
you know
They're
what I
not paying.
So I was like, I just want to do something like that's fun. But I was like, oh, this is going to be just as big. You know what I mean? Like, and then what happens is you realize, dude, if you had a podcast about like whatever you're into, say you're into fixing cars, right?
Yeah.
People are going to listen to that no matter what because they're into fixing cars,
Absolutely, right.
So like if you're into whatever model trains, so shows a podcast for that, and it's probably pretty big, probably the biggest model train one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, yeah. So if you're fun, if you are funny or interesting, people will get drawn into that. Whereas like when it's just like, what's it about? It's like, sometimes it's about like, Diddy, and sometimes it's about like fucking,
Bill Belichick's girlfriend.
exactly.
It's
Dude.
like,
Like, so it's a little harder to build. I think like go attract people to something that doesn't have a specific thing other than saying like we're from the Boston area and we like to shoot the shit and we're funny. That's hard to, you know what I mean? So, but I love doing it. It's fucking blast. You know what I mean? I watch this every week. You guys do a great job.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And it's like I said, like this is like you don't need a therapist because you have this.
Yeah. Well, I used to say it was kind of sad that this is the hang I get with my cousin.
Yeah.
I don't, you know
Well,
what I
like
mean?
you said, dude, life happened. I got
Yeah.
4 kids and,
3 of them
it's nonstop.
playing sports.
Yeah, 3 play travel sports. And
Oh, dude, it's not. It's
I know,
like
Lawrence.
fucking every night of the week. It's like
something.
you're dropping this kid off, picking this kid up, doing this, going to softball. Like tonight, actually, my daughter's game got canceled, which is great. So I told you I've been getting these games canceled and done. And then today, my wife's like, it's canceled. I told her I'm like, I'm coming up anyways. But she's like, it got canceled. I'm like, perfect. So it worked out good. But
Every time it rains out, you're like, oh, cancel baseball.
dude, every dad's just praying. You know what I mean?
Lacrosse, they never cancel.
No,
And
but
hockey happens no matter what.
yeah, you get those hot dads though that are like trying to wait it out and being like, I think we can get it in. It's like, dude, just fucking cancel the thing.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's like, it's drizzling. It's just, we're all at home like this. Cancel it. Just cancel it.
See, my daughter, she's too little. I don't have to really worry about this stuff yet.
It's coming. It's
that's
gonna come.
I know.
Dude,
I know.
I'm telling you right now, you fucking blink, brother. And it's like I do, like I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like I'm like, I always wondered, I'm like, how am I gonna pay for college? I'm still wondering that. And I'm paying for it. Like I'm like, how am I going to pay
find a
this
way.
next one? Like, you know what I mean? And you figure out a way, but
find a way.
It's yeah, dude, it's fucking nuts. You know what I mean?
Did your daughter pick that college or did you?
No, my daughter did. So what happened was my
What
daughter's she goes to the University of South Carolina.
Okay.
So what happened was my daughter's like a ridiculous student, right? So she's young for her grade and she was born 8 weeks early. So she's she's like a year younger than almost everybody in her grade.
Okay.
But she was like super, super smart and she was having a little tough time acclimating to the social scene in public school.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to go to Malton Catholic. And I'm like, we're not a private school family. Like, man, I took her to like a fucking night and they like, they do like a, they bring the kids in and they're all sitting there and the girls are getting up dancing. And I'm like, here we go. I'm already paying for this. So this is done. So
Yeah,
I got to find a way to do that. So, and then my wife's best friend went to University of South Carolina. So we would go down and visit them. They live in Hilton Head. And my daughter's like, I want to look at schools down south. And I'm like, okay. So she's a great student. She got like a pretty big merit scholarship
Nice.
to go there.
That
and
helps.
luckily, which is, and it's like anything else, dude. We're still finding a way to do it because it doesn't cover everything. But
Of course.
and then you don't factor into like I didn't factor in like flights, like fucking, you know what I mean?
No,
like
no.
if your kid goes to UMass, it's like, all right, what's the tank of gas? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, right.
If you're going down there, like me and my wife go down and move her out, it's like, all right, we need hotels for 2 nights. We need fucking
Now you
this.
need credit cards with airline points.
Dude, that's what we're doing. And like the one good thing down there though is like, you go out to dinner up here, right? We know we all live in this area.
Yeah.
You take out 3 kids and 2 adults to a decent restaurant, and you look at it 180 all day, right?
Oh, easily.
Dude, down there it was like me and my wife take her and her roommate out to like a nice restaurant.
Yeah.
I had 2 beers. They didn't drink, obviously, and my wife didn't have anything to drink, and like it was $80 for tip. Like everything's cheaper down there.
Wow.
But
Crazy.
airline tickets aren't cheap. So
No.
you
No,
get
I
that.
mean, you
Yeah,
make-
because
you
you're
make
getting
it
them
up
from
there,
here.
but- Right.
It's everything's cheaper down there.
Dude,
They also
everything
supposedly don't make as much money, right?
Yeah.
The rate.
Yeah, exactly. They're not making like what, like, and you'll see it. Like, I mean, you'll see guys come up here
Well,
to work union jobs
Right.
because like the money's better up here. You
Yeah,
know what I
the
mean?
Boston
The
rate.
real estate there
Zone
costs
1.
less money to rent, and so the housing is less, and everything's trickled down from there. Our economy is crazy. I just want to like side note what you're saying. Like things just keep getting more expensive, and they're like, oh, it's because of this. But with that it never goes back.
Dude,
It never goes back.
I opened my National Grid bill yesterday. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
like, am I gonna be able to live in this house anymore? But like, I'll give you.
I'm late,
I love
sorry.
the buttons. I'll give you an example. Like my daughter, like they don't have on campus living for sophomores, so she is renting an apartment with her girlfriend, roommate, and they were like doing a virtual tour with me, and I'm like, look at this place, and she's like, what do you think? And I'm like, that looks better than any place I've ever lived in my life. So I mean, yeah, it looks sick. It's like all like exposed brick and like whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, but it's
Yeah.
it's like $1,000 a person for a month. Now, if that was up here
Right.
and you were going to BU, it'd be fucking $1,800, $2,000. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Double.
So
Yeah.
there's benefits to it. I just got my daughter her new job today. No thanks to our friend Al, by the way, who's been on this podcast, because Al, I sponsored Little League Revere, Little League specifically because I'm like, I'm going to guilt Al into getting her a restaurant job.
Yes.
He's-
Nice move.
Al's useless. But no, I'm just kidding. But my buddy, he runs a Home Depot. I'm like, can you get her a job in Saugus? And
Yeah.
he ended up getting her a job, and I'm like, that's perfect. Like, ideal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I worked
right,
at Home
yeah.
Depot nights when I started my company, like when I was 30. It's like, I loved that fucking job. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, this job's fucking sweet. It's easy. Like, you know what I mean?
Now they have a phone too, and they're like, "What are you looking for?" They type it into the phone. They're like,
Just
"Oh, it's
they
in
go
this
on the
aisle."
website for you.
They're like, "It's in this
Scanned
bay."
Yeah.
Hey,
Dude.
go ahead.
Good job. It was a good job. But yeah, so I don't know where this whole thing was going, but yeah, you got 3 kids, you got responsibilities, you got shit to do, and it's hard to get the hang.
Oh yeah. Man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can't get
yeah, I know. It's,
it.
I forgot that we were talking about that.
Look at that. See, I've always said I'm a great host, bad guest.
I don't
Like when I was on Al's podcast and I
Yeah.
watched it, I'm like, I look like a kid that just got off the bus that goes to the school with like the special kids. Like, I just have a smile
Glass
on
like
my
a-
face. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anyways, but yeah, that's the deal. Pulling the cork. That's the name of the podcast.
in Britain,
Check
they
it out.
call them tots.
I brought you guys, by the way, koozies. These were left over from our Patreon party.
Thank you.
Oh, awesome.
Stickers there too. You guys have those.
Pulling the cork. Stick. It's your printing guy,
Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin.
Yep.
That's who I used to.
Oh yeah, he's great. Joe.
Yeah, I've used him. On my concrete company shirts.
Yep.
That I made. He came up with the design for me, and but these ones we're using.
He made this
old school.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, he does great stuff. I got to him through North Shore Beef, through Ferg, and then he decided to sponsor the show. And we sent him a lot of business, and like he does a great job. Like his stuff's
He absolutely
quality,
does.
dude. It lasts. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I always said. Like, I remember first guy I worked for, he was like, we were doing golf shirts, and the kid was like, well, these are cheaper. And he's like, I don't want cheap. He's like, I want fucking shit people are gonna wear.
Right.
Like, I don't want to give them something they're gonna fucking throw into Goodwill. I want
Yeah,
shit that
right,
people are
yeah.
going to want to wear on the golf course. I don't care. It costs $80 a shirt. I want them to wear it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Same way. I'd rather have more expensive stuff that we don't make any money off our gear at
No,
all.
I get it.
Yeah.
It all
But
goes
it's
back
still
in.
expensive. I know. I mean,
Yeah.
just getting
Like I
some
was trying to
stuff.
figure out like the other day, like, cause we do make money. Like we have sponsors, we have a Patreon,
A bunch of sponsors.
Yeah, we have a bunch of sponsors. And we make money, but like it's like it's not like a real money. It's like,
I
you
know
know,
what you mean.
like every like, you know, it's May, right? We're gonna make like 1,000 for the beginning of the year. It's like, I mean, it's something.
Absolutely.
It covers something. You know what I mean?
Well,
Covers my national grid bill this month.
Covers that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about too, the software, because you do all your own editing.
Yep.
So the software that you're paying for, and I'm saying this because it's what I'm
Sure.
But what's it called? Inside Baseball? Or-
Yeah. Inside
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah. So I mean, like, these things are expenses, and to do the stuff, it's. I mean, if you were going to a studio, have you ever thought of?
Yeah. I mean, if we didn't have my bar, I mean, I don't know what the fuck we would do.
I know,
Maggie would be like, "You're not filming this thing in the fucking basement." Like,
Yeah.
my house is small. I got 3 kids. There's no
Right.
room to fucking be like, "Hey, we're gonna just be swearing and drinking down the basement for 2 hours." You know.
Yeah.
I kind of got in trouble. Not in trouble. It was funny though. I got the. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Because my wife likes to drink.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're
really
not a
drink.
drinker. Yeah.
No, I
not
usually
a huge
only
drinker.
drink during the show, which is
See,
ridiculous.
I think the Italians don't drink like the Irish, obviously.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Like I noticed that with Al, and I mean Al drinks, but like, and we're talking about Al from Bad Brain. Shout out to Bad Brain podcast. They're just not like it's you know, you guys like your wine, you like to fucking you
Yeah.
like to relax a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's not like the Irish are like would just like give it to me, like feed it to me as hard as I can get it. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
could never chase the dragon fucking far enough, you know.
It's crazy.
well,
But
it's
yeah,
just, you know what? It's one of those things where, like drinking, you don't want the night to end, and so you just keep going.
dude.
It just
One of my buddies always said to me, he's like, "That's the problem with cocaine and beer." He goes, "There's never enough of either of them."
Yeah.
This is fucking true. But yeah, like, dude, I mean, like I said, this is just like, I watch you guys every week. And it's like, dude, like now this podcast, right? Bad Brain, we're all friends, right?
Yep.
Like, that's like, I get like, you know, it's like, I don't have to see you guys every week because I see this, you know what I mean? I know what
Right,
you're up
exactly.
to.
right,
you know?
right, yeah.
It's like Facebook used to be. It's like, I don't need to see you at the reunion because I already know what your kids look like and everything else.
Yeah.
I kind of get, you know, it's kind of funny when you do bump into somebody that you haven't seen and they're like, "Hey, watch the podcast. It's,
Yeah.
you guys
Oh
are
my God,
hilarious."
yeah.
And then they start, like you said, you know what I mean? Talking to me as if like, you
Yeah.
know,
Right. They
part
talk
of
to you
the-
about what they
the
see you
show.
talking about. Right?
Yeah.
You know, because I don't post on social media,
Sure.
like my personal, like, you know,
No.
what I mean? Very,
Very rarely.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I know y'all the same way. And
Right.
Yeah.
so to have like,
Yeah,
posting
I don't,
all the
yeah,
time
because I
for
don't
this-
post
for the
as much
page.
anymore. Like I used
Yeah.
to, like, so like anything that comes out of my page, usually it's mostly Instagram now, but it's like, it's all
Podcast
reels for the
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah.
or like usually
Yeah.
if I'm playing a show at a brewery or something, I'll do like put a music song up or something like that, like the week before.
Yeah,
just to, like
promote.
bring
Of
people.
course. Yeah.
But
it's promoting, and you guys
Yeah.
are great at it. I mean, this is like, you guys now have been doing it for a few years.
yeah, it started like in March of 21, I think, or 2022, I think it started.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Yeah, because now it's 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years.
Imagine.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's a labor of love, though. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
there's a million podcasts. It's like,
yeah, I know.
but it's fun to do, and it's like, you know, the people that we meet through it. That's like the best part. I always say,
Yeah.
right? It's like the people that we've met through the podcast. It's like we had a kid who sent Danny a text the other day, and he's like, "Dude, he's in the Patreon." He's like, and I'm assuming Danny knows him from somewhere, and he was like, I don't know if he's a Malden guy or whatever, and he was like, you know, they're dealing with a lot of stuff with my family. He's like, and going through these treatments. I'm assuming somebody's family's got cancer. And he's like, this is just like the Patreon, everything, dude, it just carries me through like a lot of the stuff. And it's like, that stuff's great. You know what I mean? Because it's like, sometimes you're like, like sometimes I'll have those moments where like, I either love myself or I fucking hate my own guts all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's like all those moments I'm like,
That's
am I
human,
the
dude.
fucking biggest loser in the world?
No,
like, am
it's
I
a
the
human
biggest
feeling,
fucking
dude.
zero? You know what I mean? That's ever lived?
Everybody feels like that.
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? But you get something like that back and you're like, all right, this is like fucking having some effect on somebody and it's good. You know, it
Yeah,
feels
right,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's just wanna
I'm
make
sorry.
people laugh.
I'm if I'm supposed to know, I'm sorry. What is the Patreon?
All right, so Patreon works like this. So Patreon's like for people who want extra content, we do Patreon. So basically how it works is there's like 3 tiers, right? So it's $5 a month. You can just be a member and you get an extra show every month, right? I mean, every week. We do an extra show afterwards. Usually shit we like, the reason we started doing was because it was like, I can't tell this on the real show. Like, and we're pretty fucking liberal.
Yeah, right.
But like, this, you don't want to be blowing people up and doing that shit on the main show. I made that mistake early on.
Yeah. Like,
So it's like kind of like that, you know what I mean? And then like usually like what we're supposed to do, which is like we following up on all this stuff is hard, but like there's different tiers. And so like we have to do a t-shirt run. And so like $10 members will get the t-shirt at cost. And then the guy, so whatever that costs us, $10. And then the guys who are members, like we do a sweatshirt run every year and something different on the back. And they're nice. And what it is they get it at cost, right? So like the $20 members get it at cost.
Yeah.
And then there's like a discount for the $10 members, $20 members get a cost, and then the $5 members get it first. And also like they get first access to like whatever event we're doing. So for example, the golf tournament, I announced it there, even though there weren't that many spots left, but they have first access to that.
Nice.
They have first access to like the comedy show and stuff like that. And like I said, then we do like
we go quick too. The tickets.
Yeah, it goes quick. Like people love the events.
The mix come home was the Irish.
Oh yeah.
The comedy show.
Yeah, mix come home. It was sold out. Like we had 4 or 5 comics. We're lucky. Like we have some good people who come regularly on the show, like Sean O'Brien Jr. That's Sean O'Brien, the Teamsters president's son.
Yep.
And we had Will Noonan, who's like a big comic. We've become friends since. So yeah, it's
He's
like,
a funny bastard.
oh, dude,
man.
he's
Nice.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, you got a lot going on, man.
I started following him after your episode.
Yeah.
And then like, cause he has a baby first time. Cause I'm my age, 46, and I'm like first time dad, and I have this.
Yeah, I think Will's about the same age.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm seeing it and it's I can relate to like the comedy in it.
Yeah.
That's what also made me think we should do a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? These older guys having babies. Like, and I thought it would be hilarious.
Yeah. I think it's like, like I said, it's all about like, if nothing else comes from it, like, which I never expect.
Right.
I'm not
That's
sitting there
obvious.
being like, dude, why isn't this fucking huge?
Taking off. Yeah.
I have no expectation.
No, I just think like, it's like the fact that we have people who want to go to these events that like to listen to the show every week. That's fucking awesome.
Right.
I tell everybody every week on the Patreon or like before it, usually at least every couple of weeks, we say something like, if you want to get out, dude, if you like are sick of it, like, because you might binge it and then be like, I'm kind of done. Like, and people come and go, you know what I mean? Then some new people come in and then they catch up and, and then, it's fine. Like, I don't even pay attention. Like, it'll be like, oh, this person, I would say the problem with Patreon is like the website. So it's like, that's how you host it. The biggest problem with Patreon is that if you change your credit card, your debit card, like say you get a new one or like or you lose it, right? It's like almost impossible. You have to like make a new account to like get back in. So it's like kind of a hassle.
Right.
But yeah,
so eventually everyone's going to have to change their payment method and get messed up.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I don't even know who's, like I said, as far as who's in and who's out, like I don't know. There's, what is 85. It always kind of dips between 80 and 90 members, it seems like now. But yeah, it's fun. We love to do it. And glad to be here. Hello, America. Hello, America.
Well, I'm excited to play in the golf tournament. I am. I'm really looking forward to it. And the cool thing about it is that the day it's on is Friday the 23rd of Memorial Day weekend. So I put it in for the day early enough that I got a 5-day banger.
That's
off
awesome.
Of work.
Yeah. Yeah, and that just ends up being the day they gave us. So it's like, it's not, we never designed it that way. Last year was the first one. This is the second one. But it's like a great day because nobody has to work tomorrow.
Right.
Nobody's it's a long weekend. So people are either going away afterwards or whatever. So it's like everybody's in a good mood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's perfect timing.
That is
People can really enjoy the weekend because they still have the whole weekend.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's, and you get to play golf and it's, I'm excited.
I haven't played yet this season.
No, I've only played once.
I played once.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I played twice. I played with my son, who is horrible. This was his first time out with me and my dad.
I played with my son. He's horrible.
That must have been fun.
No,
he's not good. He would tell you he's horrible.
No, I'm not very good either.
So my dad's a pretty good golfer. So it's great. Like my dad my dad listens every week. I know your dad listens.
Yeah,
He listens every week. My dad
Makes
listens every
the
week, and
idea.
he'll like be like, like he'll just tell me like if there's a guest that he doesn't like, he'll be like that kid sucks. Like
Oh, my dad
like,
will say this.
he'll be like that kid's a fucking drip, you know.
Yeah.
But like my dad loves Fitzy. He loves Danny.
Yeah.
Like they love him. And it's great, dude. It's like like I said, it's a cool thing that like, and then you find out like people that you didn't know were listening. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
Yeah.
like it's like all of a
Like-
sudden you're like,
like he said, you'll see someone or,
Or someone will send me
or
a
someone
message.
will message you.
You know what I mean? Like, and and then we start laughing. You know, people send you an idea, and I love that. I love when people do that.
I hate that. I'm like, fuck your ideas. I'm like, your ideas.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking keep your ideas to yourself.
I appreciate that they thought of something.
No,
that,
I know.
You know,
I'm
I
sad.
know.
I'm
I know.
busting
Listen,
balls.
I think it's hilarious that whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because you told me, I'm not gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I can't.
But it's great. Like we got a guy, like there's a kid that I went to high school with who's a year older than me. He owns Met Pipe, Tim Brown. Great dude. Like I grew up with him. I was like fucking, he was one of the cool kids. I was like, oh, now he's like, the other day he's like, just sent you and Danny Met Pipe stickers in the mail. I'm like, awesome, dude. Like
Nice.
fucking,
Yeah, right.
You know, I just like, it's cool, dude. It's awesome that people listen to it, and that's what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
That's what it's for. I mean, the whole point of doing this. I said to Nick, I go, our conversations that we've always been having is what.
I realize they're usually me complaining. I just complain for like 10 minutes. I'm like, this sucks. This sucks.
That's another Italian trait, by the way. That's an Italian
But he doesn't
trait.
want to do that on the show, which is good. But sometimes I'm like, so what'd you do this past week? And I know that he's had 17 games, right? Like 3 different sports.
Dude, if you're doing, because you said you're doing hockey, right?
So I have 3 that play on multiple teams, and I coach all of them. So
You're in it.
insane.
Dude, so I coached everything, right? So I'm like, I was like you.
I
right?
won't try to coach like baseball. I didn't play baseball. I won't coach it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I did basketball, and baseball, softball, my daughter. And then when it got to lacrosse, like the guys were like, dude, we need somebody else to coach. Will you coach? I'm like, dude, I don't know a fucking lick about this game. I still don't know shit about it.
Yeah.
And then, dude, the practices were fucking 2 hours. And
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah. That's the same
so
thing.
I retired. That was my last, I think my daughter's 2 softball seasons ago, I retired from coaching. And I'm like, it was a good run. You know what I mean? Like, I was ready for my retirement.
Man,
you know
I
what I
can
mean?
imagine. Yeah, they all play lacrosse. They all play hockey. They all 2 play baseball too. They like playing 3 sports each, multiple hockey.
And do you
teams.
live in Revere still? Or where do
No,
you live?
I live in Boxford.
Okay. All right. So you guys are both here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
He lived here first,
Oh, nice.
and then he told me how cool it was.
Yeah. The only time I've been here was this.
It sucks.
I can say. I feel like I can say this liberally. When my daughter was in high school, so she. Yeah, I can do this.
Yeah.
So whatever. You see her dad drop her off, and you have a fucking Ferrari, but like not a new Ferrari, like a Ferris Bueller Ferrari. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not Ferris
Wait,
Bueller.
like a Magnum PI?
No, exactly, dude. And he'd be like he thinks this shit don't stink. You know what I mean? I'm like, buddy, that's a fucking used ass Ferrari, you know?
Might be a
And then I
Fiero.
remember like she was hanging with this girl, and she's like, Dad, she's like, this girl, like, we were up at Linfield Marketplace, and she just like went into the store and she just like stole these earrings. And I'm like, all right, let me just say this right now. If you got a poor person who's stealing shit, that's different.
Yeah.
When you got a kid who's rich who's stealing shit, you got a real fucked up person on your hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a kid who's got some emotional fucking problems going on. Like, you got to unhitch the trailer, right, and just drive off. Like
Yeah.
that's what you got to do at that point, you know?
Right.
Just for the thrill.
Like
just
Winona
for- yeah.
Ryder, dude.
Yeah, dude, just for the buzz. You know what I mean? Just for the buzz. you know?
Shoplift.
A little dopamine rush. You know?
They loved it.
Yeah. Forgot all about that.
Hey, I don't remember much. I really
No,
don't.
the best was Tommy Gunn when you thought
That was so, yeah. Who was I trying to? What was I trying to say?
the McNeely.
Oh, Peter McNeely. I was calling him Tommy Gunn, and he's like, and I'm like, it's fucking Tommy Gunn. He's like, no, it's Peter McNeely.
I mean, dude, how different are they though? You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Well,
Yeah, I know, but I think it was the hair.
it was. It was the
It was that
hairdo.
time with the.
It was.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. That's how I confuse them.
Yeah, I
Like
went to the fights the
feather.
other night. We sponsored this kid, Shea Wilcox. He's like an up and coming fighter. He's a friend of Danny's family, kind of.
Boxing? Or?
Yeah, he's fucking. I told my son, this kid's 147 pounds. I think he fights at. I don't know if that's the number. I think it's around there. And he was like, he needed sponsors. So like we sponsored was like $750 to get a name on his shorts. And I just want to support the kid. He's been on the show.
Yeah, of
He's
course,
a fucking silent assassin. His brother just tried out for the Patriots.
Wow.
Jake Wilcox is a quarterback. Like watching this kid in a fight, like I was like, dude, there is so much pent up aggression inside of this kid. He just tuned this kid the fuck up. And I said to my son, I'm like, my son's 6'1.5". Wow. But he's like, looks like Kevin McHale, right? I'm like, dude, you see a 5'6", 147 kid coming at you. I go, yeah, you just don't think you can do much. You know what I mean? Like, don't get in over your skis. You know, like this kid will fucking take your face off.
That was like the most. I say it to him all the time. I went to City Odd Tongue in Somerville, Mark Delagrati. I was there for a while, and when I first got there, I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was like okay.
Yeah.
There's people walking around right now that think they're okay. There's people that are trained, that have been trained forever, that they're going to grab you and you're not even going to know your feet are coming off the ground by the time. It's that there's people with technique. It's a whole nother thing. You realize real quick how tough people are.
Yeah.
It's the speed too, dude. Like by the time you get your hand back, you got 6 in.
I don't underestimate anybody.
No. And I'm not a fighter. So like,
Well, just the kick.
not much of a lover either.
Never mind the kick. I'm not even talking
No,
about
I know,
that.
but I'm just saying, just to give an example, the kick to the thigh that you do in Muay Thai.
Oh yeah.
Everyone, but you watch it you see them doing it in the UFC and you don't think it hurts.
Not the shin. I'm talking when you said, watch this, and he showed me, and he kicked me in the thigh, and he goes, and it was the worst Charlie horse you ever felt in your life.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I didn't even like do it. I just tapped you
What
the
I'm
right
saying
way.
is when you watch and they're getting kicked like that, you're watching it from your couch, and I was guilty of it. I'm like, you don't even think that that's hurting them.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, no, every one of those hurt.
They snap
Every
their
fuck
own
those
legs
dudes.
sometimes kicking people.
But I don't even remember where we're going.
Dude, I mean,
He was talking about
fighters and
his
stuff,
son.
but like it's, I never so I was always like a guy who people would like who had meet through whatever. There was a guy I met through cornhole. He's like, hey, we do UFC at my house. I'm like, dude, I got no bid for UFC. I don't give a fuck about UFC. My son is fucking all in. So it's like something we do together. So he'll be like, Dad, you want to get the fight tonight? By the way, talk about another thing that's just taking money out of your pocket. $80 every time you order the fight.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But I like, dude, I gotta say, like, once I started watching it, I'm like, this is pretty fucking captivating. Like,
It is. I mean, I love boxing. I think boxing's unbelievable, and I love MMA.
We grew up watching was
Boxing.
Tyson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then for us too, when UFC first started, we had Dan Severn, the Beast, you had Hoist Gracie.
I know, but
You know
think
what I mean?
about when
Like-
we were kids, what boxing was like. Like when
it
we
was
were
the biggest
kids,
thing going.
dude. Yeah, every time there was a major fight, my whole family watched it.
Yeah.
Like all of us, me, my brothers, my dad. It was on at my grandmother's house. Like Tyson's fighting, right? When we were kids, Foreman,
wasn't pay-per-view.
Holyfield, all these guys that would like back then. Now my kids, I had to like sit down and get them to watch the Tyson fight against Jake Paul the whole time, telling them, explaining it to them. And then he let Jake Paul beat him up on purpose for money.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's just my opinion. But I looked at my kids and I was like, no, he let him do that.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, don't lose.
which is such a bummer. I mean, we were in the, like I said, like now dating ourselves, but it's like when you used to watch a Tyson fight, you were like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he was just fucking absolutely tearing heads off
That's
people. You know what I
crazy.
mean?
Those
He was
short
angry.
black,
He was
those
a
short
penta.
black shoes with the black shorts, just something hanging over them.
I remember who was the dude after Tyson and all, he had this fall from grace, but who was the guy from Chelsea who was the next heavyweight championship? It was like was it Pena Cruz or something like that? He was like a big,
Not La
Big-
Montagne or something like that.
No, it was like-
he was a legend.
this guy was like he was a year or two, I forget. He was at Chelsea, I think. And he was like the heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
And like I remember like after you watched the Tyson fight, then he was up there. It's like, dude, this is the most boring shit I've ever seen. He's just tying this guy up. Like this guy's slow as fuck. Like what happened to Tyson just with this cocaine fury like going
Yeah,
on?
Just
was
coming
a
in there and
maniac.
ending the fight in the first round.
Yeah.
Like just swinging. And
He was a maniac.
Oh.
I loved
now
I
everything
loved
was
Tyson.
going to the distance and trying to, like Mayweather,
I loved
technical.
Holyfield too, and Foreman. Those were all
Yeah.
great
Lennox
guys.
Lewis
Were great
was
to
great,
watch.
too.
Lennox Lewis was another great fighter.
Yeah. Listen, Wilder
was a lot
was
of
a
them.
beast. He's a big dude just swinging. You
He's
know what
more
I mean?
recent.
Like,
Yeah, but he actually does. Yeah, I definitely watched his fights.
he was a knockout kind
Yeah.
of style boxer. I mean,
Oh yeah.
One of my buddies used to, I had a friend who had like the best. He has like the most ridiculous one-liners, like that you just hear it and you're like, how'd you come up with that? Like he used to be like, he had this buddy, Benny June. And he's like, this kid's like just kind of this like kind of dumpy dude. He's like, so Benny June, tune the kid up. And I'm like, Benny June's tough. He goes, kid's a one-punch knockout artist. I'm like, dude, calling somebody a one-punch knockout artist is like one of the best things I ever heard in my life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you saw this kid that I'm talking about, you'd be like, that kid's not a one-punch knockout.
I believe it. I would believe it. I've seen some little dudes that I spot or even seen them go, and I'm like, no way. It feels like you're fighting two people at the same time.
Yeah.
You hit somebody in the jaw first, they usually going to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
It's just the
Yeah.
truth. Okay.
Hey, listen.
It's and then unfortunately it's swing first, worry about
Yeah.
after,
Yeah.
you know.
I worked at this bar in college, and the guy, it was like a shithole bucket of blood bar up in Vermont. Like, and the guy who ran it was like, we would work like the floor. And
Told
so
you, be nice.
no, he would
No, I'm
say,
kidding.
he would be like, if you're gonna fuck with somebody in here, like if you work here, or somebody's fucking with you, he's like, hit him and run to the bathroom. He's like, I don't want a fucking drawn out fight. He's like, don't fucking mouth with people, hit him or don't hit him, and go to the bathroom, and then we'll get the guy out of there. I remember being like, that's great advice. You know what I mean? Like, hit first. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, most people just want to yell and talk, you know?
Well, you know,
I don't want to do either, but
No, it's really just
I agree.
it happens with alcohol.
yeah.
Unfortunately, in a bar, you know what I mean, and you have too much sometimes.
Yeah.
We all been in it. I've been.
Definitely.
I'm not a good drinker. I don't really like to do it. I'd rather be outside or in the house or in like your bar
Yeah.
that you have. Things like that, like fun environments.
Yeah.
I like to, you know what I mean?
Oh, we're old dogs now. You know what I mean?
You know,
We're not,
He's not sitting here drinking a beer while he watches TV.
No, I told you, my wife gets pissed because she's like, you drink for your podcast, but you won't have a glass of wine with me for dinner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, you're right. You're right.
What am I going to tell you? I can't.
You don't enjoy it.
I got to eat that.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So now I drink the wine. I'm like this.
Yeah.
I just throw it back. But it's nice. I mean, have a drink.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, I mean, it's a good time. It's a good time.
It's a good time. I agree.
Absolutely.
So listen, you said something, you made a comment and it made me think of a funny video
Okay.
that I have.
All right.
All right. And it was,
Which one do you want me to go to?
so
You
it's-
forgot to tell me about
I just thought of it now. I'll think about it in a
this
second.
dude.
Don't worry about it. We'll come back.
Is it a P. Diddy video?
No, it was no, but it had to do with some people that
What do you
were
wanna do?
I don't want to give it away without doing it. All right, I'm gonna just give it away. So it's a couple of black dudes.
No,
on a
just tell me how to get
podcast,
to it.
And they're making fun of sayings that white people say.
Yeah.
And they saying it, and you saying that one liner thing just made me think of it.
So-
Let me see the mouse.
dude.
Mouse is over here, I think.
Nice.
There you
Anyway, maybe we won't talk about this.
All you had to do is
Well,
tell
now
me.
I think it's too late. I think we got to talk about it.
I mean, now he's not going to be able to find it. Is what's going to happen.
No, I will. I can't see my name.
That's me.
Look at you got this thing fucking. I have to say this too. You got a very intense setup here. I mean, Bad Brain does too. This is like for people who are watching at home. I mean, this like I feel like I'm on fucking Sunday morning on ABC right now.
Nice. Thanks. Yeah. Well, it's all been like a process.
Yeah, sure.
Like trying to figure out angles and things
Yeah.
like that. My brick wall.
Yep.
We had a mason come in and
I love it.
do
Yeah.
that for us.
Yeah.
So I got this. There we go. Let's see.
Going to press play? Yeah.
Sure. I'm sorry.
They have some definitely underrated sayings. I went to a PWI, so like I got firsthand exposure into it.
I'm a fan of a get a load of this guy. That's like that's like a whose man's is
Yeah,
this?
whose man's is this? But whose man's is this is iconic.
But get a load of this
Right.
guy is like that's like funny, but it
That is a
also
whose
it
man
says
is
a
this.
lot.
Yeah.
Like like a hold your horses.
What about you got some nerve?
I like you're barking up the wrong
Tree
tree.
buddy?
That's a good one.
That's a great one.
that lets you know like you're because a lot of people might not know what they mean, but are you barking up the wrong tree is like this is not the right tree.
Yeah.
I'm not the right tree, which is similar. I'm not the one.
I'm not the one.
I'm
That
not
would
the
be
one.
black
right.
So are you doing like a translation?
Yeah, because every culture has their own way
I
of
say
saying
I'm not the
things.
one.
I think
Yeah,
you're
I
barking
know.
up the wrong tree. I think that can be I'm not the one, but it's mostly like you're looking in the wrong place. White people have some underrated
I gotta
sayings.
say, some of the ones in the comments, you in what army? Right? Or let's see here. You're on thin ice.
Oh,
I use that shit.
That's
on a
one of my mother's all time is you're on thin ice. with me.
Oh, I
Like,
use that
you're
shit.
on thin ice.
You guys
know?
are fucking pushing it right now.
You guys are pushing it. Yeah. You're gonna find out.
You're
you know
this
what I mean?
close. Yeah, you're this close.
Yeah.
To finding out.
Yeah. You're gonna find out. That was a great. I mean, white people have great sayings. What are you gonna say? I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think so.
Yeah.
And
I mean, as a white person, I have to say, like, I'm proud of the sayings.
I feel like I'm, at least with my sayings, I'm mixed. You know what I mean? Because I say some of those like, I ain't the one. I'm not the one. You
Yeah.
No. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know.
Dude, there's a million of them though. It's like, dude, this like, you know, and it's true. Barking up the wrong tree. Like the origin's got to be hunting, right?
You're right. I'm thinking the same thing.
dog
Yeah,
looking in the
dogs.
wrong tree, like treeing a.
Well, you know, that's another thing. Like, there's these people that I see on Instagram and stuff, and that's what they do. They tell you where these sayings
I love that.
originated from.
Yeah.
There's this kid, Cody Tucker.
He was gonna be a guest, right?
Yeah, but the problem is, I don't know how to necessarily do a video like your new podcast.
Yeah.
You're doing you know. You
Oh,
use
like a Zoom type
Yeah.
of thing or whatever.
Like,
Yeah,
we can
I don't
do
either.
that. I got
Figuring it
that,
out,
dude. Oh well, I know.
Yeah, I can tell you how to do it. It's easy, simple.
Yeah, but how would I'm worried about how the camera's gonna make it so that
Who
the
cares?
person can see
Put him on
us.
fucking speakerphone, dude.
Dude, you know what I think?
Thinking it.
Here's what I think. Because honestly, like you have way better stuff than we do. If the content's good,
Thank you.
if the content's good,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
it's kind of like being like, oh, I gotta have this song recorded in like a Nashville recording studio. It's like, well, if the song's not good, who gives a fuck how good it
yeah,
sounds?
it's like being
it's got to be the quality of like the content is like the most important thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
right.
Well, that's why we're gonna get cameras and try to do this crazy.
Yeah,
And then it's like the camera on this phone,
It's fine.
dude, it's better than any fucking.
it's you know what I mean.
And then I
It's-
listen to Al's thing. Bad Brain Stuff. Like that one's overheating, and I'm like, I can't deal with that. That's too
No,
stressful.
worrying about that. Like,
But it's not even the camera. It's the it's gonna drops down to the weakest point. You know what I mean? If it's the software that only runs at a certain, fucking
Yeah.
Setting,
Like
you know
I
what
always
I
say, it's like
Just
dude, it's like you know,
I just
what
said-
is the there's another probably white saying, but it's like great, like perfection or great is the enemy of good. It's like if you wait
Never
to
heard
do
it.
shit
Oh, yeah.
because you're like fucking this isn't gonna be perfect. It's
Oh,
like, dude,
yeah.
it's never gonna be perfect. Like just do it.
Yeah.
Like our first 13 to 15 episodes, we didn't even have it on YouTube. We were just doing audio. So it was like and then people were like, we want it on YouTube, so we started doing it. Now, I mean, we don't get like, you know, a good video on YouTube for us gets a couple hundred. You know what I mean? Like, we don't get like crazy views or something, but you know, Instagram and shit's where it's at. It's like, like,
so it's
yeah, like, dude, we just did that video with Danny doing the impression of, I should have sent it to you before so you could play it, but he does the impression of, I might even bring it up, just play it in the mic. He does the imitation of an Asian guy in Malden.
No.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
It's-
So he does an imitation of a Cambodian.
Cambodian. Yeah.
There is a difference.
Yeah, hold on. I'm bringing it up
Because
just
we grew up with Cambodians.
We
so
did.
I do the voice too. So I'm so glad that you brought this
Well,
up.
we went to
So
water.
here it is. Hold on. There it is on the left.
All right.
Play that.
An abundance of Asians, Vietnamese, Cambodian. So like we would play marbles, and they would, So what you want to do with your finger, you bend it back, bend it all the way back, and you hit it with a double. It's a double hit. It's a double hit. I live in Malden. I live in the
He's talking
Malden,
about pencil
Massachusetts.
wars. That's what he's talking about.
What I've ever heard, dude.
I live in Malden, and Josh, you the iron worker. You the iron worker. You go in the big building. You big building.
yeah. But like,
An
dude,
abundance of Asians.
So
like that got monster, like fucking, I don't know, they got like 60,000 views or something like that.
I know, but here's the thing: is right. I don't know if he said it, but the fact that I know he's talking about fucking pencil wars.
Well, no, he's
He's talking about marbles.
marbles.
Bro, no,
When they play
I thought
marbles.
he was talking about the fuck when they would say that about the pencils. Remember?
Yeah, we used to do.
They used to say the same thing in fucking You have to snap it with your finger.
Sometimes they design things like dragons into their pencil.
Oh my God, we used to sit. That's
Really?
what we did when we were kids. We'd be like
Pencil.
breaking pencils with each other.
Little
It's
kids.
hilarious.
Hilarious.
Dude, I would play with a ton of those guys. Like they have a huge community in like the cornhole world around here.
Yeah.
They're all great guys.
Yeah,
They're all awesome
definitely.
dudes.
Oh, hilarious.
And there was this guy. So I said to Danny, I'm like, you slow rolled me on that episode because early on I did an impression of this guy. I used to call this other guy. He'd be like, I'm like, I don't think it's racist if you do an impression of somebody if it's fucking how they talk. You know what I mean? This guy used to call this other guy. He'd be like, you know, Big Jack. You're like, Big Jack. That's Big Jack over there. And I'm like, dude, you just sat there holding this marble fucking impression for like 100 more episodes.
Yeah,
like
my
you
God.
fucking slow rolled the fuck out of me, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, I would say.
The big building.
Yeah, big building. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah,
It
but
was-
like, dude,
oh,
but
yeah.
like, so what I'm saying is like, you know, it's funny how Instagram works, right? Because it's like we had the first one I got sick of putting them up because I'm like, these things aren't fucking getting any traction.
Yeah.
Then my buddy, it's the biggest one we had, it's like 172,000, and he tells this story about being an iron worker and working with these two black kids and this electrician. This whole story it got like monstrous, dude. All of a sudden, I'm like, dude, I called my buddy who's in it. I'm like, do you want me to keep this up because this thing's getting like fucking 200 views a fucking minute right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's fine. Yeah, keep it up. And then you get swept up in the algorithm, right? And all of a sudden, like you're getting 100 fucking follows a day or whatever. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're back out. Like Danny's like that rode for like 3 weeks. And we were just getting like, 20, 30 follows a day. And now we're back out of the algorithm, right? It's
Crazy how it works.
It's crazy. And you know what it is? If people are talking in the comments, then it drives it.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, especially the one with Josh, people were starting to say, it's like there were black people arguing with each other in the comments, being like, this is racist. And then some other black dude's like, nah, this dude's certified. And it's funny, the guy he was talking about, the black kid that he worked with, people are saying, this guy's racist. The kid who was in the story sends a message to the page. He's like, yo, is that my man Josh? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, this is the dude in the story, Mike. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, he's a fucking riot. I'm like,
Yeah,
so
of
everybody's
course.
saying he's racist. Like everybody, dude, but that's like the weird thing. It's like if people start arguing, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
that's
it
what
is.
drives it. You know what I mean?
My God. I mean, the biggest thing about social media is if you go to the comments and you see, it's always the same argument. Sometimes you almost think that they're starting it on purpose. It's always got to be a line in the sand between one thing and the other, a color of that. And like, just let people be people. Fucking say what they
Yeah.
want. I don't give a fuck. If you're an asshole and you're black or
Dude.
Italian or whatever, you're
Well,
a
the
fucking
algorithm
asshole.
sees
Dude, listen,
the tension.
I always say, like on our show, like we make fun of probably Irish pieces of shit more than we make fun of anybody.
Right.
And then we tease about Italians and
Of course.
Irish. Then we tease about black people and Asians and whatever. And it's like you can tell when somebody's really a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, dude, it's
100%.
all fucking. We're all busting balls, right?
Right,
It's
yeah.
like, that's just how it works. So it's like everything is for everybody. If you really are a piece of shit, it's gonna come through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I
No
it's-
matter what color you shade shit you are, you're just still a piece of shit.
It totally is the truth, dude. There's assholes who are black. There's assholes who are white. There's
Exactly.
assholes who are Asian. Like there's plenty of fucking. I think like that's a misconception. Like my buddy, my best friend lives in Ireland. He moved there. He met a girl here that was Irish. They moved back there.
Nice.
He's like the misconception is that like everybody in Ireland is just like, oh yeah, it's a fucking jolly ass place. He's like, dude, there's plenty of dickheads just like any place else. You know what I mean? They just happen to speak with a
Everybody's just
brogue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I do love the accent though.
It was a great story he told me about how like over in Ireland, like their drinking and driving laws are so much more intense than they are here. Like, so if you've had like and they have like stops, right? Like on just like random roads, like where they pull everybody over and check them. You don't have to be driving weird. You don't have to be doing anything, right? They'll just check you if you've been drinking. If you've had over 2 drinks, you are fucking losing your license. So the only thing in that law is that farmers have like more of like, it's like 4 beers or something like that because they drive equipment. So for whatever reason, they're like grandfathered in.
Yeah.
And they were trying to repeal it. And like, there was like, he's like, so it's like Parliament or whatever they have over there. I don't even know. He's like, there's this Irish farmer who's like in his fucking, in his dickies, huge beard. And he's like, I know, guy. He goes, they were going to bring it back to like regular, like 2 drinks or a drink. And he's like, I know, guys, They don't even have the courage to get in there. They don't even have the courage to get in the car without 3 drinks. I was like, that's a great fucking line.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like that commercial back when
I thought you were gonna deliver an Irish accent.
No, I can't do it. You know what happens is like it devolves into like an Indian accent. I kind of like Al. Like I used to, if I'm around somebody for like a strong period of time, like I can do a good impression of Al. Like Al's like, how's Al's coffee today? Is that what you're at? Like this girl. Like if you want to be honest, like this girl's a cunt. Like that she's a cunt. She's a loser. Would I say she's the worst barista in the world? I would. I'd say that's what I'd say about her. She's probably the worst that's ever done it. Worst to ever work at Starbucks. Like that's how Al delivers everything.
Dude, that was fucking great.
Yeah. But if I'm not around that person for an extended period of time, like my wife, her friend lives in Hilton Head. She's married to a guy from South Africa. He's a fucking riot. He owns a bar down there. And white South African, by the way. I just want to clarify that in case you're wondering. I definitely thought the first night I met, she's like, we're going to meet my friend and her fiance from South Africa. I'm like, this sounds like the worst night ever. Not because I thought he was black, although I did think of that. I'm like, just like anybody from a different country, I don't want to meet them.
Right. Didn't you see Blood Diamond?
Yeah, so that's what he talks. That's kind of what he talks like.
Right.
And like, if I'm around him, I can fucking nail his accent. I have it down. And then like the further I get away from him, like it's just like like people will be like, do it. And I'm like, I can't do it now. Right? Yeah, I have to be around the person.
Yeah, you got to
know what I mean?
a little bit.
I used to work with an Irish guy, so I would do it with him. But
Oh yeah,
when we would go on vacation, right? Like when we're in Mexico and having a good time. Next thing you know, I'm speaking like I'm with the Mexican accent, and he's like, "Dude, you got to stop."
dude. I'm telling you right now, and it's a bad habit. Like I do adopt like the cadence of different people I hang out with.
Yeah,
And then my wife's like, Dad, what are you doing? And I'm like, it's just like I don't think it's a good quality. Like I think it's like a quality of a
Well, when
follower.
you're in Mexico in a bar somewhere and he's making funny Mexican voices at everybody, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, well, probably, yeah. That could end badly, I guess. You know,
You're
what I
like,
mean?
hey, everybody's staring at us now. Stop talking to them like that.
Dude, I ran into something. I ran into something the other day that I think you guys would appreciate, which was, first of all, like we're all from the same area, so Route 1 is like church to us, right?
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
if you're not from here, if you watch, I think most people will know Route 1, right? So there's a Pearl Vision, right, where you can get your glasses and your contacts and shit, and there's a vitamin store. So it's like, with like a GNC, right?
Yep.
And my son's always going motoring through fucking protein bars, protein shakes, trying to fucking, bulk up for football.
Nice.
So I said to my daughter, I'm like, we went for a walk of a break out, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna stop. I gotta order contacts. First of all, I went to the contact place. The guy who owns the contact place, or the vision place, Pearl Vision, his name's Carmine. No offense, guys. This guy's the biggest upseller of all time, right? So I'm waiting, trying to just, like, if I call them, which I have to do tomorrow, because you'll hear why. Like, they give them a credit card number, they order your contacts, right? Mm-hmm. And like, I'm sitting there waiting. Fucking now it's 5-6 minutes. And she's like, you just gotta wait for Carmine. I'm like, and I can hear him in the back talking to somebody. I'm like, I'm not. I hate Carmine. I fucking hate this guy. He's always trying to, he's like, oh, I noticed you haven't got new glasses in 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, just order my contacts. Let me get the fuck out. You know what I mean? I never wear glasses. So I walked out of there. Then we went into the GNC type place. So there's never anybody in a GNC. Like there just isn't anybody ever in there. It's like you're the only one in there.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Always.
So we walked in, I'm getting protein bars and shit. And there's this guy walking around the back. He's like our age, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, kind of looks like us. Just looks like a regular fucking older dude. And as we're walking out, the guy goes, let me ask you this. He goes, what's the most fucking hardcore shit you got there? and like,
He was waiting for you to leave.
He goes, what's the most hardcore shit you got in there? I'm like, most intense shit. We walked out, and my daughter goes to me, she goes, I mean, should somebody let that guy know that they don't sell coke in there? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, man, like, what's those hardcore shit you sell?
That good pre-run workout.
Yeah, steroids.
Yeah. Oh my God. Right? No shit.
Where's the shit that's in the back room? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Do you sell steroids in there? Like, is that what you're asking?
18-year-old kid's like, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. I think it's so obvious when somebody does steroids, by the way. Like, I mean, we probably grew up with a million people who did them, right?
Yeah, we grew up, right.
Like, it's like, I had buddies at college did them, and, dude, it's like, dude, I saw you like 6 months ago. Like, I know, I know something's going on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're a little more angrier than usual, and you're fucking ripped out of your mind. You know, like,
You got no neck.
Yeah, now it's like that with TRT. You'll see someone 6 months later, you're like, holy shit, put on 20 pounds of muscle there.
yeah,
But
but
I'd like to get them to sponsor the show.
yeah.
And I would document the
Hey,
journey.
there's nothing wrong with taking it.
No, I mean, listen, you get older, it is what it is. I think that, like, I think it's interesting, though. It's like, where you think about like, I'm sure steroids now, I don't know, but like, I never took them, but like, I'm sure that like, not that you can tell, but I'm sure that you, like back then, we were taking like whoever was taking them was probably taking like horse fucking steroids, like compared to what they're probably getting now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all those dudes that go to, you know, you see them in the gym, right? They're fucking smoked out of their minds, jacked, right? Sure. They're 50 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, they're not just on TRT, like they're on a fucking cocktail. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Oh shit, you know?
If they can afford it, that's
that's
super.
But like not crazy gym people.
Yeah.
Like it's just a swapped addiction for a different addiction.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
Truth. Yeah.
It's like all right, like I'm just gonna be like so many. Like my buddy who sponsors our podcast, he was borderline D1, could have gone D1 basketball player. He's 6'6", he's jacked. He's a professional. He's an influencer, a health influencer, and he like coaches high net worth people on like how to be their best. He also coaches me. It's not going great for him with the results. I'm down 20 pounds, but like he's like, awesome. Dude, he's like, it's his job, so I get it. But like, he's like, dude, you have the extra time. I'm like, bro, you know how long it takes me to get 10,000 steps? It takes an hour and 10 minutes.
I had someone do that to me one time, and I'm like, I don't have the time. And he went, okay.
You can find the time.
He told me, because he knows me well enough. He's like, you have 5 o'clock on this day. The next morning, wake up early and do it in the morning before the day starts. That night, you can do it again at 5, and then the next morning you could do it again.
Yeah, here's the thing though. I'm married. I'm getting late.
There's your 4 days, and I'm like, wow, he's right. So I did it for a week, and I was like, fuck this, dude. Fuck this,
dude. You know what it is? It's like and I was lifting like the last for like 3 months. And I was like enjoying it, but then I'm like, dude, all right, now I'm doing an hour of fucking walking, right? Because he's like, walking's the best. So he's right. The thing he says is like, if you're doing the Peloton, you're doing something like that, it spikes your hunger response. So like, if you're just walking, you'll burn a lot of calories, whatever. And then he's like, and then lift. And I'm like, all right, now I'm doing 2 hours working out a day. Like, dude, I'm not trying to be in the Olympics. Like, and I am like looking better, and I am also still having sex with my wife. That's really my goals in life. You know what I mean? Like, so I kind of accomplished them. You know what I mean?
You feeling better?
I feel way better, dude. But like, I'm like, I, you know, work gets busy, and then you're like, fuck, dude, and you're coaching kids and shit.
Oh yeah, it's nonstop.
Dude, it's like, you know, it's not rocket science. You just eat a little bit less and fucking, you know, I'm never gonna drink less.
It's the nighttime when you eat at night.
I don't. See, that's the weird thing about me. Wow. And here's the weird thing about me too. Like Fitzy always says, like, so Fitzy's 6'6", or 6'4", and he's a house, right? He looks like Hagrid in fucking, not Hagrid. He looks like the guy in what's it called? Braveheart. Like the big guy with the red beard. That's exactly what he looks like, right? Yeah. And he's like, dude, when I get drinking, he's like, I just love fucking eating. And I'm like, I don't ever feel that way. Like I haven't eaten dinner, and I'm gonna have probably like 4 drinks here while we do this. I won't even eat. Like I don't have that response that people have with it. Like I like to eat, right? But I don't have that response where I'm like, oh, now I want a fucking sub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't have that. Like I mean,
I do.
Yeah, do you? Yeah.
Well, that's because I like to smoke. You know what I mean? And with alcohol, it's
smoking will drive it. Smoking will drive it for me.
Yeah.
If I smoke weed, I want to eat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's like one of the side effects, I think.
Yeah, dude, it's on the thing for the medication. It says if you're hungry,
dude. I mean, listen, like my buddy had cancer at one point.
That's
he was never a big
weed
smoker.
Yeah,
he was like, I would have to have like a weed lollipop or whatever because it would drive my hunger response because I didn't want to eat.
Yeah,
my buddy, when we were growing up, he was like kind of fat, right? And then like he lost a bunch of weight. He was in high school. And then we smoked weed one night, and like we went to Mother's Pizza in Melrose, and he fucking hosts like a steak and cheese and an Italian, and like he's like, I'm never smoking weed again. Like he's like I can't fucking do that shit. Yeah. But this doesn't drive me. Oh, by the way, free ad. Can we give a free ad?
Sure.
Not for our podcast even. I went to a great restaurant the other day on Mother's Day. Somebody got me out of a big jam. Let's just say I might have been in the doghouse going into Mother's Day with my wife. And needed to get a reservation. And as you probably know, getting a reservation on Mother's Day.
Oh, yeah,
the day before Mother's Day, not easy.
Hey, I was at a hockey tournament and we had a 4-hour gap in between the games.
Yeah.
Couldn't go anywhere to eat.
No. So La Familia Giorgio in the North End.
Oh, yeah.
Our buddy Al's family's restaurant.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable, dude. The best fucking food. My daughters have celiac. They can't have wheat. So they usually can't go to Italian food. You know what I mean? I love Italian. They have all gluten-free options there. You want to say that? Al's watching this. He's like, fuck Brendan. I don't want to give him fucking ads about my restaurant. But listen, if you're going into the North End, that's where you want to go. Fucking, dude, best meal I've had in fucking like months. That's actually the thing that's probably saved me from getting super fat is that my daughters can't have like wheat in the house. So I can't have real pasta in the house.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, pasta's one of those things, dude, you can endlessly eat.
Yeah. Sabella's in Rivera. I'm just going to put it out. Sabella, you want raviolis and yakis? That's where
Yeah, so I grew up in a house. My parents own a two-family with my godparents. And my godmother and my godfather are Italian. Godmother's from Revere and Belmonte's. And they grew up right behind Blanche's Liquors. And then my godfather's from Melrose, but he's a Chauvin. So like I was fed. We had a door in the middle. We didn't have like a split two-family. We have like a down the middle colonial.
Townhouse. Yeah.
And like the door was always open. And I grew up just being like, this food is so much better than Irish food. Like, it's not even, dude, you guys have a fucking absolute ankle lock on fucking food. Yeah. Like, it's not even close.
Right.
We are very.
I got to say, we talked about that before on the podcast about, and
his mother's an unbelievable cook.
Oh, I think,
his grandmother, my grandmother.
Yeah. So here's the crazy thing.
My wife's family.
Growing up, and I think it's probably because like we all grew up like probably middle class, right?
Yeah.
Like, which is very different than middle class now, I think.
Absolutely.
Like, you weren't going out to eat all the time. And,
probably closer to poor.
Yeah, but like, there also wasn't like, there wasn't access to like easy credit cards and shit. Like, so you just had what you had, right?
Sure, absolutely.
So like every night I would come home from basketball, we'd have like baked chicken or chicken pot pie or whatever, right?
You had a home cooked meal.
That's what we had. By the way, I'm very thankful for it. I'm not here to fucking besmirch the name of those meals. I'll take a fucking Harrow's chicken pie or whatever it was.
I still get excited if we have chicken pot pie.
Dude, chicken pot pie's sick. Throw it over rice, dude, I'm all in.
Yeah.
But like as I got older, my mother started getting into cooking, and she's like an amazing cook now, and she makes shrimp scampi. She does everything. I'm like, where was this when I was in fucking 10th grade?
They had to learn how to do it. I heard this before.
Yeah.
A guy, he said, I think the food's good. Used to suck. She didn't know what she was doing in the kitchen. It took years for her to get good.
Probably the fucking advent of the internet, dude, and everything else.
About somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, dude, it's like, so in my house, I cook, right?
No, my wife.
I like to cook. I enjoy it. My wife is an Irish palate. She's a chicken fingers and whatever. Like,
nice.
I like to make a meal, right?
Yeah.
She has like a palate of like a 7th grader. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying anything I wouldn't say to her. Like,
no, yeah. I'm sure you tell her this.
Oh yeah. But like, so I like to cook and, I'd like to make food. That said, you know what sucks is like, as your kids get older, now you have boys, all boys, I think?
3 boys and
Three
a girl.
boys and a girl. Oh, you got 4 kids. You were fucked.
Absolutely.
But like my son, he wants something else. The girls want something else. They want this. He wants that. It's like, dude, this is not short order fucking restaurant.
No, we don't do it.
You know what I
Sometimes
mean?
a little, but no.
Well, you end up,
the
the busier they get and the later their practices get, the more complicated it gets.
Yeah.
And the more you're just like, I'll just pick up food or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
because the convenience.
My son's game last night was at like 8 o'clock at night. To me, that's too late for kids.
Dude, I would agree with you. Yeah. How old's your kid? 11?
11.
Yeah. So how old is the youngest?
1.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, that's awesome, dude. I love dude. I tell everybody this. I feel like I always end up hanging out with people who are like a little bit younger than me. And they're like, oh, I'm like, dude, your kids are the best part of your life.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's like there's nothing else to live. And I'm not saying anything about anybody who doesn't want to have
It's painful when
them.
you go through it, but it's
dude,
amazing
it's the hottest part.
Oh yeah,
it's like literally like, dude, like finding out how you're gonna pay for shit. Like, it's like I see my buddies who don't have kids. I'm like, you must be fucking Reggie Rich.
Like, I say it to my
rolling.
kids all the time.
Yeah.
I could have that, but I chose. I have you, which I'm happy about.
Dude, I always say to my
they
kids,
always say shit to me. They'll be like, Can you get this? Can we get that? And I'm like, well, I could have that.
like, yeah, I could have a Range Rover. Like I'm always very open with my kids. Like, so like I said, my daughter has to have some school loans because I'm going to have other 2 kids that go, right?
Right.
And my wife stayed home for the first maybe 7 or 8 years. Now she's a para at the school. And so we made a choice. It was like, all right, like either you're going to go work someplace and make 80 grand and you're going to clear 20 because we're paying for daycare, or you're going to stay home with the kids and we're going to go a little bit without, right? So like I said to my kids, I'm like, listen, we made sacrifices for you guys to do this stuff. And like, you're going to have to own a little bit of what you want to do. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
what it is. Like,
absolutely.
I remember my daughter goes, why didn't you and mom save enough money to send me to college? I'm like, oh, I forgot to save $1.5 million. I forgot. I meant to save $1.5 million, but I just forgot. I'm like, that's what I forgot about. You know what I mean? I wish you reminded me when I was younger. I've been trying to save that $1.5 million. You never wanted to go on a vacation. You never wanted to do all that. So I just want to make sure. You should have been eating rice and fucking beans the entire time, you know? Yeah, it's
Grateful mother.
Dude, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But yeah, dude, having kids is the best. I think it's like,
It is
honestly, the
amazing,
fucking
dude.
like, even like when you have one or you have four, it's like, dude, nothing's gonna fucking light your life up like that will. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wasn't going to have any, and he would have this conversation with me all the time. And then, you know, my wife being around her nieces and stuff, and, you know, she says she did it for me because she loves me.
Yeah.
And she knows I wanted to.
Yeah.
And now we do. And then I got snipped.
Yeah.
So now it's it. One and done.
Yeah.
I went through it.
Your kid's gonna be like a fucking like the most like best like wealthiest kid that she's gonna know. She's gonna have like because she's got no brothers and sisters.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, it's going to make what we do stuff easier because
It does make
you
it
don't
easier.
have to.
Oh, dude, you
Like
are
you said
fucked
about
when
eat-
you get beyond two. Like so you're in my boat, right?
Yeah.
Like so you get 3 or 4. Like what I'm saying, another kid is obviously another huge expense, but the difference between 3 and 4, when you talk about traveling and shit, is nothing because now you can't really do anything.
Dude,
like
when we go on sites to book like a
hotel.
vacation or hotel, you have to call because if you try to organize it, where you could have 2 rooms next to each other or a suite or something that can fit everyone. Some of the places in vacation, you have to call and do like a group of fucking 6 people.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude, we went down. This is not a lie. We just went to Aruba, and this will be the last time I go to fucking Aruba. But my
you don't
wife's
like Aruba?
it's fine. It's
Half
for
the island?
It's for dumb people, in my opinion. After you get 2 days in, I'm like, I've been twice. So I went for I've been 3 times actually. It's my 3rd time. You know what? I like going when it's you and your wife. That's where I like going. Like.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we had my wife had booked 1 room. Now we have 3 kids. My wife's like, well, we'll just get a cot. And I'm like, all right, cool. So she goes check in. Now we're all like jet lagged and shit. Like but like we're all like we've been up since 3 a.m. or whatever to get to Logan. She comes over to me. She's like, I told them we have 5, and they're like, not gonna. We have to book an extra room. And I'm like, you told them we have 5 people. She's like, I'm like, haven't you ever been a criminal like at all? A little bit. And like then so now like dude, so now we're gonna book another room for at least 2 nights till my parents get there, so that because my whole family went, so that one of the kids could supposedly stay with them, which they stayed with us. Didn't matter, right?
Right.
sure.
So now I'm out another $1,500 to $2,000, right? And she's like, well, who's staying in what room? Like, well, me and you are staying in this room because I'm getting fucking laid. I'm like, if I'm paying $1,500, like, we're getting fucking laid here. You know what I mean? Like, somebody's getting fucking served up.
I'm
you
not
know?
the only one getting fucked.
Like, yeah, exactly, dude. Dude, that's 100%. Like, there's no chance that I'm not.
Yeah,
getting
your
fucking
kids are
laid.
old enough
I'm
to go stay in a
enjoying
room
my
by
vacation.
themselves.
Dude, yeah, you guys are fucking staying. I remember
Yeah.
they're like, we're staying by ourselves. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to really tell you what's happening, but you know what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting laid, you know?
Dad's on vacation too.
Dude, and the funny thing is, I always say this, but it's like when you have a bunch of kids, now you have to pay to get laid because, like, if you have a small house, I have a small house, right? So you'll be fine. You have a big house, you have 1 kid. If you have a small house like I do in a crowded area like Melrose, my kids stay up till fucking 12:30. They stay up way later than we do. So it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
so what am I gonna do? Am I be like, tell my wife when I fuck her in the garage? Like, it's not happening. So like. So now I got to be like, hey, let's go up to Portland, Maine for the weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
let's try to get all the kids out of the house at once and hope they don't come home.
Because this is because your kids are old enough now that they stay up late.
Dude, they stay up forever.
they don't.
I didn't think.
And then they're on the computer.
didn't even think of that.
Xbox, and
Dude,
the
they're
PlayStation.
on like literally,
Yeah.
dude. The chances of me getting laid over the summer.
Yeah.
The only like I'm basically looking at. We rented a big house in Maine. Specifically, I rented this house. It's more expensive than I want to spend because I want to get laid. Like, cause I'm like, there's a different bedroom in this one area. Like, dude, that's my like motivation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, to make money. I'm like, I need to make extra money to rent this house so I can get laid. You know, that's basically it. You know what I mean? Like, I had a easier time getting laid in high school than I laid in my own house. You know?
Terrible. I mean, that's like what they signed on the dotted line when they married. That's what I thought was.
Yeah, marriages go through phases though. Dude.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it's like, my buddy said that to me one time. I'm like, we're talking one time. I'm like, he's like, oh yeah, I was laid the other night. I'm like, fuck, I feel like I haven't got laid in forever. He's like, dude, he's like, yeah, but this marriage, he's like, it goes through a phase and like all of a sudden you get this wave. It's like you're getting laid all the time. You're like, It's like when you win at blackjack, you're like, I'm never gonna lose. And then all of a sudden, like you're like fucking, you're just getting 15s. It's like nothing good's happening anymore. You know what I mean? Right. That's how it is. You know.
I mean, honestly, I have a great relationship with my wife. Honestly, our kids are still little. Maybe that will change when they get old enough to stay away,
like
all
listen
night.
when the kids were little, life that way was a lot easier. Like
it's definitely
because they're going out and you don't know when they're coming home. So you know what I mean? So it's like
mine aren't even that old yet. Mine are going to bed at 9.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're all set, dude. You are all set. Like at that point in my life,
like drill sergeant,
dude.
Like
bedtime.
At that point in my life, it was like Shangri-La. Like there was no rules. It was like a nightclub after 9 o'clock. Like watch a Netflix show and fucking drink wine and then fucking bang on the couch. Like it was awesome. You know what I mean? When you get older, you're like, I don't want my son to see me fucking balls deep when he comes home from drinking in the woods. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole different fucking kettle of fish. You know. But I mean, once they move out and I'm 58, you know, I guess listen, I'll be getting laid a lot.
You'll be back in your prime.
I'll be back in my prime.
awesome, right? Yeah. It sounds great.
Yeah. Getting laid rules.
And then the problem was thinking,
it's like the best thing in the business. You know what I mean? Like, dude, nothing's better than getting laid.
they really, it's
Not only for you, for like them too. Like, it's like, dude, when you were a kid, right? When you were like a 16-year-old or whatever, right? That was all I thought about was like trying to get like not in a, like a scumbag way.
No,
but
it
like
was normal
the
way.
pursuit of like
Absolutely.
being intimate with a girl was like that was it. That was all I was thinking
remember
about.
there was
me and
way
him
more technique needed too.
Oh, dude.
Because it was in person, getting phone numbers so that you could call them or having to
Calling
look
their
them up.
house, calling their parents' house and asking for them.
Yeah.
Talk about balls, dude. Talk about balls. You want to talk about what it takes to fucking close deals?
Dude, I had a phone in my room.
Yeah.
When I was younger. And I always remember it was a neon, one of those phones that had a neon light in it. And the reason I got it was so that I could shut the ringer off, but it would still blink.
Yeah.
So
I know that phone, dude. I know that phone.
I could answer the phone when my parents
I think it's
were
like a
sleeping.
Swatch phone or something like that.
Yeah, it was like a Spencer gift or a Swatch or something like that. But that was in my room. That was how I talked to the girls all night long.
Dude, I remember like I had this one girl I was dating. It was like the advent of the internet, like before I even knew of the internet. And like her father would have to dial up so you couldn't get through the line. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't have the line.
Fat
for the-
fuck's on his fucking internet again. You know what I mean? Like, get off there so I can fucking chat this girl up, you know?
Right. But the funny thing is sometimes there was a point where people didn't have call waiting. So
Nothing.
if you were sitting there talking all night long, falling asleep on the phone to a girl that went to a different school, and you know,
Dude, you learned the art of like the age old art of seduction in our days because you had to fucking work for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was like, dude, I would be on the phone with these girls forever, and then they would start out as friends. Then you're trying to like transfer them out of the friend zone.
Oh, yeah,
like you know what I mean? And
I
sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but like it was
yeah,
an art, you know?
I got class flirt in high school.
Nice. I can see that
in the yearbook. So I kind of went right to the girlfriend fate. Like,
yeah.
I went right at.
Yeah. See, I'm like I'm like a guy that like I've always said this about myself, but like,
But I always got, I would get put to the friend side, but I never went there first.
yeah. See, I'm like a guy like when there's no girl that's ever like looked at me and been like, I want to fuck that guy. Like I'm the type of guy like I gotta talk you, before, and then you like I'm like a long term stock. Like I'm an investment, like a long term investment. Like you know what I mean. Like I'm like this could work out. Like it's safe stock. You know what I mean. Like Andy's like kind of funny and stuff. Like so like. That was what I had to like put my time in. That's why first time I went to a club, dude. My buddy took me to a club. I never used to go to clubs. I used to go to like, what's the one that used to be in like the Palace or whatever that was? What was that? The Bahama Beach Club or whatever it was back then?
And that was like the first one.
Yeah, but we used to go there a little bit with like 18 or whatever. But then like I went to a club when I was like 22 and my buddy's like, oh yeah, this place is sick. And he was like jacked. And I'm like, dude, this place, I'm like, all my powers are gone. Like, nobody can hear what I'm saying. Like,
leaning over to try to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. But yeah, you had to work for it back in the day, dude. You know what I mean? You had to learn how to cook back then. You had to learn how to fucking be a pimp. You know what I mean? Nobody could fucking teach you that shit. You know? You had to use your fucking words to get your communication apart.
Yes.
Instead of fucking sending text messages to people all the
it
time.
was hard.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you literally, there was just so much work that went involved into doing it and sealing the deal. And then, now it's like, hey,
It's all text.
oh wow, this girl looks pretty.
Hey, here's a dick
I
pic.
might know her. Yeah, right.
Dude, my son was telling me, like a couple kids in his grade got busted for like sending dick pics. I'm like, this is like 2 years ago, something like that. I'm like, dude, do yourself a favor. The internet's forever.
Never do that.
The internet is forever, right? So like, dicks don't look that great anyways. You know what I mean? So like, don't just even if you got a hammer, like it's not like fucking. It's not your best look. You know what I mean? Like keep that shit like fucking for somebody later. You know?
Yeah, you know,
Just don't send it to
a
anyone.
later job looking you up and they Google you and next thing it comes up with.
Dude, it's scary, right? Because like you think about it now, and it's like we're in a totally different time, right? It's like the world is like all online, right? So it's like if you do something fucked up, like it's there forever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, just Google your name, look at a picture. It's like, you know, like there it is. You know what I mean? Like it's fucked up. I'm glad we actually grew up when we did, if I'm being honest.
Me too. I
'Cause
think
wait, you're
100%.
46. How old are you?
Same age.
Okay, so we're all like, I'm 48. Yes, we're all the same age.
So I think
Around.
that we're like the first real generation that saw the progression of technology, learned how to use it as it came.
Yeah.
Like I could still do my kids and me play video games together
Yeah,
because I played video games my whole life, right? So it's like a sweet spot. You're like the first generation of that, where you're kind of staying progressively with the technology too. You're not way behind on
And
it.
cell phones and the internet.
Yeah, I
mean,
mean,
you
you've
grew
been
up with
here.
AOL. I didn't have it.
We didn't have internet in my house, so we had nothing like that.
The difference is little kids now are born and you hand them a phone and they know how to use shit like immediately.
Dude, it's a whole different world. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
Like we're now we're aging out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
AI will probably take everything. Actually, best job. Like I was saying to my wife the other day, I'm like, honestly, like my son, who's pretty quiet, like he's not like me, like he's not like way out there, like with being like super gregarious. I'm like, dude, she's like, don't be a dream killer, like about like you know, because I was like, look, I'm like, honestly, you want my real opinion? He should be in the trades. Like, I'm like, I kind of wish I got the trades. Like, dude, you'll get a good life. You'll have fucking annuity. You'll have all this stuff. And there's no fucking AI system that's coming in to fucking fix a toilet. Like, that we know of now. Maybe someday.
Right.
But like, what I'm saying is like,
China, they're making.
are they doing it?
They got, yeah.
Dude, who thinks
Are
of this?
they
Like,
doing it?
dude, here's the problem though.
Like
Like,
they're doing it.
Not here. Though.
all these nerds that
Yeah.
program the AI,
Yeah.
why are you putting yourself out of work? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, the fuck? Like,
I know. I hear you. I got a bug in my eye.
oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah. So that's the problem. You move up here to get away from people,
And you get to the bugs.
and you get bugs instead.
I'd rather the bugs.
And me too. But it went in my eye, and I've got. It looks like I don't know. I got pink eye or a stink eye. I don't know what
Sty?
it's. I don't know. It hurts, but it sucks. Anyway, sorry. But
Yeah.
I got to take off my glasses. Once in a while.
The internet you can Google it and you find out what's wrong with you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
absolutely.
You know-
Chat GPT, everything.
I'm terrible with the searching. Like I don't know how to ask it stuff.
Go to Chat GPT and
My-
be like,
yeah,
I got a
my
bug in my
phone-
eye and now it's real red.
My
What should I do?
ChatGPT thinks I'm retarded. It's like, oh, I got a terrible one.
Dude, your chat GPT it's like, dude, this guy's retarded. We can't even. I'm not even gonna respond to
Yeah.
you anymore.
I don't understand.
It just shuts you down.
Well, because so it's funny now. We use Opus to do our
Yeah.
shorts, and they changed the whole like format, I guess, of their.
Interface.
Is that okay? That's
Yeah.
the word. So they changed that, and I couldn't figure out how to ask it. Where the hell did they change this thing to add our logo? And
Yeah.
it was just like crazy because learning all this stuff. It's been a project to say it all the time, so I don't want to keep talking about it. But anyway, it sucked, and I'm still learning, and I'm just scratching the surface on what we were able to do. But when something changes, it really screws me up because I'm like, how do I fix this? I'm not even good with computers.
Right.
Dude, it's like with the so I cut everything in iMovie for not in iMovie, CapCut for our reels,
Mhm.
and I try to like remember moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like and be
sure.
like, all right, like, and sometimes it's like it's funny because then so reels are like where it's at, right? So it's like. But sometimes when you're in the middle of talking, like you jump in or I jump in, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, fuck, like that would actually would have been perfect if I didn't jump in there. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like,
Learning
but
that
it's like you're just having a conversation, so you're not thinking about that at the time. You're like,
No,
all
of
right,
course,
you know what I mean?
right.
It's like whatever, you're just cutting reels. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird, dude. It's like it's a it's this whole thing of like the internet it's a weird place. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
You can legit sit, and I know that people do it all the time. You could legit sit there and just have a conversation with AI, and it will continually try to tell you that you can ask it as many times as you want. It will tell you as many times you ask it that it's just a program. It's this and that. and you could keep saying that. Well, how do I know you're not lying? Like I've watched so many of these fucking videos.
Yeah.
I've done it, and literally the conversation could go on and on and on. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's scary in a lot of ways. It's going to eliminate a bunch of jobs, obviously.
Yeah.
And that sucks because it's like, all right, like I was talking to my buddy about the other night, my son's track meet. It's like some of these jobs going to be just gone, and then we'll be broke. Like, then I'm like, you know what, dude? I don't worry about that shit. Like, if it happens, it happens. I don't know what to tell you, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, back to the technology part of the podcast, when we were trying to figure out to have somebody do all the like post editing and do all the stuff, people that were doing it, like subcontractors out in like Turkey or like people over in Europe.
Yeah.
With the people
doing it
on these websites. And I was just like, okay, why don't I just try this AI instead?
Yeah.
And then see how it works. And it ended up being so simple.
So it's pretty good from right here, but then you got to kind of go back in and kind of tweak, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Especially with our sense of humor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or there's a lot of times that I have to completely make the short.
Yeah, from scratch.
I'll take the one that I thought was the worst one that they made and I'll just redo it what I want, you know? And it works. And it also gives you some stuff that are like, oh shit, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing kind of blows because, like, I asked it the other day. I was like, "Oh, give me some good ideas for Pulling the Cork podcast." Right, so it draws up everything we've done. Gives me like 5 of the same ideas we've already done. It's like, what's the best beer of the day? Like, or the best beer that you have. Like, so being like the barbecue beer, the airport beer, right?
Sure. Right.
I'm like, we did this shit already, idiot. Like, fucking, how about you do your own research, fucking shithead? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
research
that's all it's doing.
fuck this AI. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all it's doing is research. You going through the.
But you can't, like, here's the thing. What you can't do is, like, you can't, AI, what I worry about with AI is not like that it can, because you can't work like a human brain. Human brain's the weirdest thing in the world. Yours is so different than mine. Yours is so different than mine, right?
Right.
It works this completely different way. It clicks into different places, right? It, like, all of a sudden it ignites something different. Boom, it's there. That's what's great about being a person, right? What I worry about for the kids is, like, it's easy to get in there and be like, all right, like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Then you're not critically thinking. So, like, now your brain's starting to fucking, like, become matrixed and become like a mush ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're not flexing it all the time, you know?
Yeah.
To kind of dummy that down for some people, like, think of it like how we used to get directions to some place.
Yeah.
You had to print them out.
Remember the
and
map
then
book?
you use a map book. And then you
had to ask somebody.
tried to memorize it after you went there.
Yeah.
Now, people don't worry about getting anywhere. They just phone because of the technology and the convenience.
Oh my God, yeah.
Address, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I have a whole, like, obviously I grew up where I live. So, like, I have a whole weird map in my head of, like, where everything is.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
My kids don't really have it as much. I mean, they know how to get back and forth to school, but, like, they don't
It
really
took me-
fucking, you know.
because of Google Maps and apps on the phone. It took me so long to like learn the town I live in. It took me a while. My wife was doing all the stuff, dropping them off because she, unfortunately, she stays home like you were saying, takes care of the kids. So she's driving them, picking them up, doing whatever. And then I had to do it, and I'm like, fucking putting their school, the name of their school into Google Maps. I'm like, for at least a couple of years it took me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's solved a lot. It's like anything else, dude. All this stuff is good. It's like anything in the world. It's like, it's got this great thing that it can do for you, but then it's got this negative. It's like, dude, that's why we're in purgatory. We are in purgatory because it's like everything that is enjoyable has a direct negative aspect to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, I was talking to my daughter. She was saying that, like, the big drug at her college is Coke, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, there's like one
So
frat.
you're like, things haven't changed. You're like, things haven't changed.
Yeah.
No.
But like, I'm like, oh, people don't really, not really big weed down there. You know what I mean? She's like, no, it's like they do speed. I actually had to have a conversation with her because I'm like, got her the job at Home Depot. I'm like, listen, they're going to drug test you. I'm like, so I don't give a fuck. I'm not trying to pass judgment on you. I'm just saying, like, are you going to pass a drug test? She's like, I don't do drugs. I'm like, you're a fucking nerd. I'm like, let's just get that out of the way right there. But no, but like she was like talking. She was talking about how, like, she's like, yeah, this one frat, they just blowheads, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, you see them like class, they're all fucking paranoid, nervous. I'm like, that's because the day after what Coke does is it floods your fucking brain with serotonin, right? And like dopamine. And then, like, there's a fucking complete kickback where it's all gone now, right? So now you're dealing with none of it. And you're trying to figure out how, like, and she's like, how do you know this? I'm like, don't worry about that. Let's not get into the details. Let's not get lost in the details here. I'm like, I'm just telling you. I'm just like, let's change the subject. What do you want to do for dinner? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. So that's in her school. That's what they're doing. I was curious to see if it was something different.
Dude, she was telling me there's all these different sororities and frats down there, right? So it's big sorority frat culture down there. She's not in one. Actually, she's in like a one that, like, if you drive where they have the houses, it's not like UMass, dude. These are like cathedrals, right? These houses.
Sure.
So she was telling me, like, there's like Southern frats, and then there's like, you know, like northeast frats, like New York, like East Coast frats, kind of like up here.
Mm-hmm.
All girls from New York. She's like, this one sorority, and all the girls are blowheads. They're all from fucking Jersey and New York and shit. What they do with the girls is they'll like put you on a washer machine, just your bra and your fucking underwear, and like they turn the thing on. If it jiggles and it's not in your cans, like, you're not in that fucking sorority. And I'm like, that is fucked. And she's like, and they just chop lines up from everywhere. I'm like, this sounds like fucking hell on earth. Like,
Yeah,
basically.
no
You know what I
shit,
mean?
right?
Like,
Yeah.
like, are these the worst people that ever lived? Like, who are these people? You know what I mean? Just demons reincarnated, like in college.
I'm not
kids.
getting in.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I'm like, I never get into that place, you know?
I mean, it's scary to think that people still do coke, like
With all the fentanyl shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, with fentanyl.
I got to
crazy.
step up for a second because I got to piss like a racehorse.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And
We'll chat.
I know.
We'll chat.
And then if worst case scenario, I'll edit it out after. But I got to piss so bad. I don't even think I can sit there and pretend.
It happens, dude. It
And
happens.
on your podcast, you have to.
So you got 4 kids, and you got how many of the boys are playing? Is the youngest the girl?
Yeah,
All right. So the boys are all playing hockey?
they all play hockey on multiple teams.
Oh, man. You're fucking in for it, dude.
Yeah, well, it's been a while now, and we're
So it's funny. One of the guys who is a friend of mine, lives in Melrose, is a Revere guy, Dave Patch.
yeah, I love Dave.
So Dave's son,
Yeah, he
just got drafted in the USHL or juniors, right?
Yeah,
Juniors?
But, I think so. I forget right now, but I did see that, and Dave was a great hockey player too, and so was his brother.
Dave Patch, obviously from Revere.
Yep.
I think had the Revere scoring record at one point. I don't know if he still has it. You know how, like, usually when you meet a guy who was a stud athlete, they just got a certain air about him, like Hato type of air, kind of usually.
Yeah,
He's like the opposite.
No,
He's
Dave-
like the nicest kid
Yes.
you could ever meet in your life.
yeah, Dave's a great
Like,
guy.
Dave is the greatest guy. I'll never forget it. His son had like a hockey party for like when kids were in like 3rd grade or 2nd grade. My son has glasses. He's blind as shit. He's Mr. Magoo. His glasses like fogging up on the ice. Dave worked with him the whole time. Like, he's like honestly one of the nicest guys
Yeah, definitely.
you ever met in your life. Like,
Yeah,
honestly, salty earth.
I went to high school with him, played hockey with him.
yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah. Great player, right?
Yeah, very good. Yep.
Yeah. His brother, Chucky, right?
Yep. His daughter. Now all our kids all play. You know, I you see everybody in rinks now.
Yeah.
That's really what, you know, anyone who's
Yeah.
in within that age groups of your kids, and you see everyone in rinks. I mean, we're in every rink all the time.
Yeah. And his son's playing I think he's a pretty great player from what I hear, you know?
Yeah.
I used to coach with lacrosse.
Yeah.
Kid has unbelievable hands.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
he just,
Yep. He did. I've
anything,
seen him play a little
you
bit.
know?
He's good. Very good.
it goes in the family.
He's
It's
a
good when it
big
gets
kid.
passed down, you know?
Big kid too.
Yeah. He's a good sized kid.
What? So you got your kid. Your daughter played. You saying lacrosse?
She played a little bit of lacrosse. My son plays football. He's a lineman, which is good because he is lacking in hand-eye coordination. But like all he cares about is lifting and fucking. That's all he gives a shit about.
That's
You know
you're
what I mean?
saying that with eating protein.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
good, man.
That's it. That's
Great, that's
like,
good.
He's like, when are we having steak again? I'm like, when you get a job? How you like that? Like, you want fucking go to Padres and get a steak? I'm like, steak's like $25, you know? It's not cheap to feed these kids, you know? But yeah, dude, it's like we said, like having kids is like we just talked about kids for like the last fucking 30 minutes. Like,
It's nice.
yeah, dude, it gives you something to talk about.
I thought that's kind of what this podcast originally was going to be about, like because of the experience and the humor that they bring and the
Sure.
funny stuff they do. I mean,
Yeah.
my daughter's starting to walk now and talk a little bit, and it's cute. It's funny.
Yeah.
and shit like solid.
Yeah, and when you get to the point where it's like, you know, like I said, like you get out of a store like GNC and your daughter's like, does that guy know they don't have Coke in there? Like, it's like, they pick up your humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, they get your, like, you know, they get what you get out of, you know, they get your,
Like, I'll make a joke in a room full of people. My oldest son will be the only one that laughs, and I'm like,
yeah. That's the same with me and my son. It's like, it's a funny, you know, that's the best. It's the best part is just hanging with your kids. Like,
yeah,
honestly, it's
totally.
like fucking awesome. all his friends follow the podcast, Pulling the Cork,
That's awesome.
and they just watch the reels. They don't listen to the podcast. They
No,
watch
yeah,
this.
yeah.
But they have this, like, it's funny, like the other day they were all going into the gym to work out, and like 4 of them have the sweatshirt on. You know what I mean? Like good guys, trash people. Like, like that first sweatshirt was good guys, trash people, because we were like, I don't know how it came up with the show. Like I think I said it or somebody said it was like, yeah, we're good guys, we're trash people. You know what I mean? Like
That's
so like
hilarious. That's
so
awesome.
some people read it that don't know as like good guys, trash people. Like being like you like we're trashing people. You know what I mean? That's all it is. We are trash people. It's like Fitzy's like, you know, we're good guys, but like we might eat like Taco Bell on the weekends. You know what I mean? But yeah, they wear the sweatshirts. It's funny because we came up with a different one that was, I'm trying to think what the second one just had like Corker on the back or something like that. Massachusetts map. And they're like, they didn't want that one. They wanted the good guys, trash people. And he's like, when are you making that one again? They all want them. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's the funny sayings that catch you. I mean, and then you guys started doing something too where you can, like, people want to order directly.
Yeah, so we did a direct order the last time from Ben Franklin, where like people could order directly off their website, because it was getting to be like, you know, you're ordering 55, 60 sweatshirts. And now people are like, all right, now I'm trying to meet up with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, this is becoming pretty labor intensive. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is dying.
So yeah. So anyways, that was kind of what happened. That's dying?
Yeah. Bored technical.
We done an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can wrap up whenever you guys want to go.
Yeah. All right. I mean, there's we talked about so many things that we didn't really. I had a list of stuff for us to talk about, and we really didn't even need to.
We don't need to. Yeah.
Which is nice to again,
Absolutely.
to not have to like worry about it. But
Yeah. You throw a quarter in people like us and wind them up or pull the string on the back. And,
Yeah.
you know, you get everything you need. You know?
well, it was nice just to to hang out and shoot the shit and tell some stories about fams and
That's it.
and
You know what I
stuff.
mean? That's it.
This is
What
it's
did you?
all
Well,
about.
what else do you have? Did you something you wanted to bring up?
I had something about the new exercising with the bungee cord. I thought that was funny.
Where's that?
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to find that.
Sent it to me, right?
It's no, I don't know if it's we got that. We got the motorcycle, the flying motorcycle.
I think that we should talk about that. Have you seen this?
No, go ahead.
So there's like a flying motorcycle.
Seen it yet? This is the Volanaut air bike. It's a personal hover bike that looks like something straight out of Star Wars, and believe me, the company clearly knows this. Its inventor is the same guy who was behind the Jetson 1.
Literally
but
like
unlike
Star
the
Wars.
Jetson 1, the Volanaut is taking a much different approach. According to the company's website, this super bike for the skies is powered by jet propulsion and is designed to carry one person with speeds of up to 124 miles per hour. It has a proprietary stabilization system, which is enhanced by an onboard flight computer that provides automatic
thing.
hover and easy controls for its rider. It's 7 times lighter than a typical motorcycle thanks to its use of carbon fiber, 3D printing, and a minimalist design approach. The write-up from DuPont Registry says that you simply grip the handlebars like a motorcycle, lean forward, and launch into the air. And the controls are managed through a telemetry-equipped helmet. I'll be honest, my brain is struggling a little bit to believe that this thing is real.
Me too.
But considering who its inventor is, I'm sure it is.
I think it's fake.
I'm also sure that it won't be cheap, but let me know what you guys think. This thing is insane. If you haven't
So
It looks like the Star Wars.
It does.
yeah, which is, by the way, the balls.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
That's the only reason you want to be super rich, is because you're like, dude, if I be pinning around fucking Melrose in that thing, you know
Like,
what I mean?
imagine you're just hovering above everybody, just
Yeah, like
Quiet.
Yeah, like I don't know that thing. I feel like somebody's gonna die on that.
100%.
I used to believe everything I saw, and then he told me that a lot of stuff was fake. So,
Well, do you think
mean,
that's fake?
That to me, that looked real to me. I don't know.
are they using like drone style?
I've seen some
jets?
other
I mean,
videos on it too.
What's making it go up like that?
I mean, last
If they
week-
can-
That looked pretty like seamless. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, with this, we looked at the one the other day that was like by Kawasaki. It was like a horse.
doesn't
Yeah.
even have a seatbelt.
And did you see that or no?
No.
So the Kawasaki one that it looks like a horse we talked about a couple weeks ago. I thought that was fake, and then I actually found that they when they put it out at a show,
Yeah.
the announcement of it, and I was like, nope, it's real. They have it.
It's like a giant, a robotic horse,
Jesus.
and then it's just
You
climbing.
ride
through
it.
the
And it's got
mountains.
a Kawasaki Ninja head, and you ride the thing like it's a horse with 4 legs and shit.
like it's a motorcycle.
But this is even better in my opinion. If this is safe, now you don't even have to touch the ground. You just hover above it.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I looked at in that video is I'm like, there was at the end there was like a lot of leaves and shit going. That looked a little real, but I'm like, this thing feels like it has to be loud.
Yeah,
That thing,
Unless
yeah,
it's like
especially if it's
like
by jet propulsion, right?
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, I mean, you got that. I don't know. All I heard was the helmet, being able to drive it with the helmet. And I was just like imagining, wow. So I already lost the whole video because I was just like, that would be so cool.
dude, I think you'd have it for like a week though, and you'd be like, ah, yeah, I think fucking whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
like-
imagine running to the store quick.
yeah, and then somebody fucking jacking it from you. Like, yeah, that sounds like it's most likely stolen thing like in
Oh
the
my
world.
God, right?
Like, yeah, dude. I mean, it sounds unbelievable. I mean, what do you think that thing costs?
150,000.
More. I think it's gotta be.
I wonder if
Gotta be
they
a couple
did
hundred
even
grand.
say how much money.
No.
Usually they say that shit.
It'd be amazing if it's like flat screen TVs where in like 8 years they're like $100. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just bought my wife's like last night 2 nights ago we were driving home from someplace and she's like, my TV's not like the Roku's not picking up in the bedroom. When I fold clothes, like I want to have like something to watch, and I'm like, I'll just buy another TV. And she's like, really? And I'm like, dude, TV's like $100.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my
you're
God,
not
yeah.
like fucking expensive. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I remember my buddy got the first flat screen and he had it up on his wall. He was like, we were young and he was making a ton of money. And like, you know, a flat screen was like $6,000 or something. It didn't even have like HD though back then. So just like the Sox game looked just like totally like trash. You know what I mean?
I remember buying a plasma. Remember?
Plasma. Yeah.
That was a long time ago. I bought a like a 50-inch plasma, and I was like, this thing's amazing. Like,
Was
oh,
it one of
yeah.
those like, I remember I had a Sony Vega. That was like the first HD I had. Thing weighed more than
Yeah, it
refrigerator
weighed a
Perry.
million pounds,
the gray
dude.
one.
Dude,
The screen.
1,000%.
It was a flat screen, but it was fucking big. Oh, they were so heavy.
It
But
weighed so much.
hey, but that TV was indestructible, and the picture was
Picture was unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Picture was unbelievable.
Right? So it's so funny.
Yeah, yeah,
Man,
I agree.
I love that fucking.
I had a blast, by the way. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh,
I
thank
had
you
so
so
much
much for
fun.
coming, man.
Thanks for coming, man.
I'm so glad, and I'm so glad we got to talk a little bit about all these, you know, the golf tournament. which I'm
Yeah,
pumped
yeah,
about
and we'll
playing in.
I'm going to see you in 7 days.
Yeah,
So you got the golf tournament coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What else you got coming up?
we
Any
usually
shows?
do. We'll see. Last year we skipped we had to have a huge Halloween party 2 years in a row. Yeah, 2 years in a row, and then we skipped it last year. Danny had his daughter was having some medical stuff, so he was off the show for like a couple months. And it was like, I don't want to do it without Danny. So it was
Yeah,
like, because it's kind of his thing. So we sold that out. That was a blast. We gave it to like every time we did it, we found somebody locally that was going through something. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was, I think one guy had cancer, was dealing with that. So like everything from the door went to that family direct. You know what I
wow,
mean?
that's
That's awesome.
So it was like, and you hand them the money. So it's not like you know how it is. Like this is going to CF, which is great. They need the money. But like this was like you're putting fucking 800 in somebody's hand. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
can use, you know.
Send
So
a check to some.
and
big
that was a
organization.
great time. So yeah, we just do stuff like that every once in a while.
That's awesome,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Every once in a while, you guys are always doing something.
Yeah.
What do you have
know
next?
That's
The
the
golf-
golf
the
tournament.
golf
yeah.
Other than that,
next.
though, I mean, any
So yeah, probably next after that will be the Halloween party.
Nice,
Assuming we
awesome.
do it.
You have any shows?
Like comedy stuff.
No. Like
Yeah, comedy
music.
stuff,
Why you
any
doing
stuff.
comedy stuff?
Oh no. Well,
Music?
Danny does comedy. I don't
Yeah.
do comedy. Yeah, like I'll play a Twisted Fate. This is their beer right here, by the way. Twisted Fate Brewery. I told them I'd give them a little plug. I
Yeah.
play there. It's in Danvers, right on 114, like where the
Guitar Center.
Guitar Center is.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So like dude, it's literally for me, it's like 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Up Route 1. So I'll do that on Saturdays once in a while from 4 to 7. And I'll usually so if my Instagram is personal is it's a great question. I think it's Brendan Ahern 33. Maybe like an underscore or something like that. If you go to Pull in the Cork, you'll see Pull in the Cork podcast Instagram. I'm tagged in all the stuff. I actually tried to start a new Instagram like a month ago because I'm like, my page is getting clogged up with like music and podcasts. And then I did that for like a week and I'm like, fuck this page. I'm like, I'm going back to my own page. Like,
Yeah,
whatever. who cares?
Your algorithm takes a long time.
It comes a pain in the ass too. Like you
It
jump
changes
in
quick.
Sometimes I'll notice that I commented in my personal one.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, no, I used to the page, trying to put the page.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Hey, listen, the social media world's new to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're old dogs, like I said.
yeah,
you know?
they never really posted anything. But I'll tell you, I have learned that it's like, the episodes, you put the episode out so that you can make the shorts from it. The shorts are what go on Instagram, and the shorts are what
More people see.
those are what the people see. You know what I mean? Because I can't tell you how many times I've had the conversation where they're like, "Oh, I love the podcast." I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much. I watch it." They're like, "Well, I don't watch the full episodes. I watch what's on Instagram." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that." If you ever wanted to, there's the link in there to go and
Dude, if 170,000 people that looked at my buddy's reel listen to the podcast, we'd be in a different,
Oh,
we'd be in
yeah,
a different
of
tax
course.
bracket. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what though? I don't know. Because I think it takes a lot of views in order to generate some actual money. And
No,
then you gotta
yeah,
do
I
it,
mean-
like a repetitively.
Dude, we started out with nothing. Now I think we're up to like almost 4,000 people on Instagram, which is great. You know what I mean? And so it's like that's where people capture their content. And like I always say it, like I love Theo Vaughn and I love Shane Gillis. This is my favorite comics. I don't listen to their podcasts. I catch their shit on clips.
Right.
So like
get it,
it's
right.
not
Same.
different. And I was talking to actually Al's cousin, Mark Lewis, Marco. And he's like, dude, that's where it's all at. It's all at it's all at the reels and shit, because when you're selling to a sponsor, they want to know that like you're getting the views there, right? Because like we'll share to our story, like our sponsors, like we have American Benchcraft, which is a belt company, or they do like leather goods, and we have Misguided Spirits, which brought you all that. And so it's like that's really where people kind of find it. You know what I mean? So it's like we try to do as much promoting there as we can for them.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, like maybe in a week, 700 or 800 people listen to the podcast, right? And then maybe 150 listen to watch it on YouTube, or 100. But then we get a reel that does 55,000. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So it's, whatever. I don't know.
It is.
There's
It's
no way
nuts.
we've talked about it a lot on here. That, like everyone that we've had on, and there's a science to it, and there's no sense to it,
dude.
The
day I posted that reel that went crazy, I was like, Fitzy was like, "You gonna post any reels for that episode?" I'm like, "Fuck, I don't feel like fucking posting reels." And then I post that reel and it goes nuts. So it's like,
you never know.
I think you just got to keep doing it, and then like all of a sudden something catches it, and like boom, like you're in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I guess like it's like the more people that see that, maybe you pick up 5 people who listen to the whole thing. You know,
right.
like so. I don't know.
It's really just putting it out there and continuing to try to. I mean, we don't flood with constant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just.
But I do find that recently that if you post every day, because we had New England Dad on, and he's like a professional. That's what he does for a living, right?
Right.
He's like, dude, you got to post every day. He's like, you got to post every day because they want you to.
That's what
He's
he
like,
told
so if
us,
they
too.
see you doing that,
Yeah.
it picks you up more.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it wants you to be feeding the algorithm.
Feeding the algorithm.
Feeding the algorithm.
That's what
You know what I
saying.
mean? So, I mean, I try to post during the week at least 4 times, like a reel.
Yeah.
And like now when you get used to it, it's not as hard. It's just like fucking, all right. It
Sure.
takes probably 10 minutes, but like, it's, I think, yeah, like we said, if there was a foolproof way to do it, everybody'd be doing it.
Of course,
You
if
know?
it was easy,
Oh.
everybody would do it, and nobody
Yeah.
would quit.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want to always think about, do I really want to do this? There's so much that goes into it. And then, so now we do once every 2 weeks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You doing it every week. It's a
Yep.
pain. It's a pain.
Yeah,
in
but
the
even
ass.
like we just had this conversation yesterday where like we were texting. I'm like, all right, we're recording on Sunday. That's usually when we record. And I'm like, now we're gonna have sometimes what we'll do is we'll just go on vacation, we'll try to do a double episode, right? Now it's a double episode and a double Patreon, right? So now you're talking about like 6 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we don't take many weekends off. I'm like, let's just take Memorial Day weekend off. Like, maybe we'll do a quick, maybe me and Danny will get together because Fitzy's going away and do like a quick 40 minutes just for the Patreon people to give them something, you know what I mean? Because we feel like they're paying like,
Sure.
so we try to do that, like, but it's like, dude, it's like, like it's a lot, dude. 52 shows a year and a Patreon. It's a lot of fucking talking, People are always like, I remember when you said this. I'm like, I don't remember. I'm like, I don't remember.
I don't remember
dude,
stuff either.
dude.
Right?
I don't remember anything. Like we're talking 162 hours, right? 162 shows, 163 plus Patreon. So like, there's essentially got to be whatever, like 100 and probably 200 hours of me talking, and then go back to my cornhole thing. Like it's like yeah, and sometimes you forget what you talked about. So you're like,
Oh,
did I tell
absolutely.
this fucking story?
Yeah, right.
I'm like, if I told it was a while ago, and you know what, you're gonna fucking listen to it again. How do you
There
like
you
that?
go.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that happens to us. We do
Yeah.
that. I do that. Nick does that. We do it.
yeah,
Across the same path.
yeah.
But you know what? Who knows? Sometimes the person that's watching this episode didn't watch that episode.
of course, you
And
get new people.
And you know what else I've learned? Telling the story. It's just like doing a bit in comedy. The delivery, learning how to shave it down a little or how to accentuate or whatever. I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, like I
You know
told
what
this
mean?
story early on, and I told it again, and we can end after this. But so I had a kid that I went to grade school with this kid, or like middle school. And the kid was a fucking horrible person, right? Just a fucking a product of a fucking broken family, piece of shit,
Jesus,
right? All time piece of shit. So like I never forget, like remember Skids? Remember Skids?
Yeah.
So I had these, my mother, I was like, I want Skids, I need Skids. So if you don't know what Skids were, if you're younger than us, they were essentially drapes that you wore as pants. And
Pajama
they had,
pants.
Yeah,
They
they were
had a-
pajama pant overalls.
They had a street sign on the back that said Skids, right? With a car sign,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I had, my mother's like, got me these things called Shreks, right?
Oh,
And like,
man.
they're like knockoff Skids, right?
Yeah.
So I'm wearing to school, like, hope I get away with this, right? And this kid fucking just eviscerates me in gym class. Dude, like I walked out of there crying. Like he was he was like, your parents are fucking poor, all this shit. Meanwhile, this kid's poorer than fucking us. And I'm like, oh fuck, like whatever. That night I went home and I fucking prayed that this kid would die. Right? I went to bed and I'm like, I pray for this kid's death. Like I hope he dies, right? So I'm like, maybe 8 years later, I'm working at the hospital, Melrose Wakefield Hospital. I was cleaning rooms. And this kid's in there and he's like all fucked up. He's like, face is all blown out. And he's like, he's on like dialysis. And he's like, I'm cleaning his room. And he's like, you Brendan Ahern? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, says his name.
He's like, you broke ass mother.
Yeah. No, and he's like, dude, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to college. I work here in the summers. And he's like, dude, I wish I did what you did. He's like, I fucked my whole life up. He's like, I fucking fucked my whole life up. He's like, I got into drugs. And he's like, and I'm like, and here I am. And it's a fucking mess. My life's a mess. And I walked out of that room.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And I walked out of that room and I was like, man, I didn't pray hard enough for this kid's death. Like, this kid's still alive. I'm
lasted
like,
a lot longer
fuck.
than I
I'm like,
thought.
dude, I'm not a good Catholic. Apparently, this kid's fucking still kicking. I'm
I
like,
thought
fuck.
you were going to say, he was like, yeah, right after that day, last time I saw you wearing those with tracks.
No.
I was like, this is a sad story. Maybe I can lighten it up a little with the trombone. And then you're like, you totally turn around. He didn't die.
Yeah. So, yeah, if I ever do stand up, that'll be the opening bit. That kid is still alive, by the way. I've looked into it. Kids like that don't die, by the way. They're like rat. You can give as much rat poison as you want. They just keep kicking, you know?
Hey, look at Keith Richards. It's pretty
They
impressive.
swap his fucking his blood out all the time, right?
I don't know. I mean, I actually sent Nick something that said that if you 2030, they say that it's you don't have to pull it up.
Yeah, you won't die like anything like
Immortal.
You'll be like basically unless you get hit by a car, you'll live till be like $120
If you can live to 2030.
or like 2050 or something. Somebody was telling me
We're
the
pretty
other day.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that says humans will be immortal by 2030.
Yeah, we don't pull it up.
Okay.
I mean, I will if you want.
Is it just a picture?
Yeah. Look, and it read it.
With the help of nano robots. Awesome.
Nanorobots.
Hey, we're almost there.
Imagine.
Yeah, imagine that.
Well, I mean,
It's going to live 5 more years. And
I'm just happy that we're getting to flying cars and flying motorcycles.
That's what I'm
finally.
saying.
I mean, I've been waiting a
Yeah,
long
it's gonna be
time.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Because I saw a thing where it said that Back to the Future was filmed in 1985
Yeah.
and it was taking place in 1960 or 1950. One of those two,
yeah,
right?
I saw this. Yeah.
And that's 35 years. And they said, so that's basically 2025 going back 35 years, and that's 1995.
Yeah, we had cars and shit back then.
Yeah.
Talking about. You know
Yeah,
what
I
mean?
know, but like it's like,
You're flying cars down.
think how far back, they said 30 years you'd be flying.
That's the other thing.
They
Is like,
lied. They lied.
you get any car now, by the way. Like, I mean, we have the same car. You have a Silverado, right?
Yeah, all three of us.
No big deal. What a flex. But like, dude, like
Like a rock.
You getting like a fucking Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah.
It's got a sick interior and it has the backup cameras and everything else. It's got you, dude. Like, they're all sick now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything has air
Back in the
conditioning.
day, it wasn't like a Mercedes was a big difference between everything else. You know, like
Yeah.
whatever. So
Power crank windows.
yeah, dude, it was like we didn't have a new car in my house ever. Like ever, not a fucking new car to be seen ever. Yeah, Subaru that used to be like, we hope it makes it to New Hampshire.
yeah. My dad's pickup truck was like so bad, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
But we would load it up for hockey bags, 4-wheelers, You know, we go up there,
took
we
it
go
everywhere.
up to Maine and stuff.
Yeah, it worked.
We did, and it
worked.
did. And you know what? It wasn't. No one cared.
Yeah.
Well, at least we didn't.
No, because you didn't know anything different. So
Right.
what would you care about? You know what I mean?
So, but I'd have to hold the clutch in sometimes to help him. We'd be spraying in the carburetor,
Yeah.
starter fluid, and I'd be a little kid holding the steering wheel and my foot in the clutch because I had no power steering.
Dude,
no
like my
power
son's
clutch.
like getting his license now. Or he's trying to get his license. And he's like, my friends just got new. Like, that's the problem. Melrose now is like a rich town. I'm not rich. And he's like, oh, this kid, you know, his buddies, like, they just got trucks. Like, their parents got the trucks. I'm like, that's awesome for them. Sick.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
sick.
dude, like, you got a side job I don't know about? Like, I'm like, dude, like, I got a truck because I worked for it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not just handing out trucks. Like, it's not like the fucking Oprah Winfrey show. Like, everybody gets one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you get a truck. You get a truck. You know what I mean? You're not getting a truck because you're not that rich. So that's the fucking deal, you know?
And
So-
your insurance would be $7,000 a year.
Oh, dude, my insurance sucks. But all right, boys, I had a blast.
All right.
I really
that was
appreciate it.
Thanks for coming again.
man.
Two
Appreciate
zins.
it. Two zins.
Two zins in. You know what I mean?
Nice.
2 beers, 2 zins.
2 beers, 2 zins.
Yeah,
I that could be a good
it
title.
could be
but-
good podcast.
right? Well, I had some funny names real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for the movie podcast, I came up with BJ's at the movies.
It's a great one.
BJ, was it movies we hate?
Yep.
Because you both love.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
You just love.
Yeah.
And the other one is miserable movies.
Yeah. You know what? I thought about this. I forget what I was saying it to, but I'm like, now you go to the movies and you get the recliners and shit. The reason you went to the movies back in the day was like, because you could probably make out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you going to make out over that fucking couch you're in?
How I can't stay awake.
I
The
can't either.
recliner is just like
Dude, it's hard. It's hard.
the
Like,
lights
it's-
are off. It's
Dude,
I
it's,
haven't been to the movies in a long
oh,
time.
I go all the time. My daughter loves the movies, so I go all the time. But
we went for our anniversary,
Yeah.
right? Because we ended up having a terrible thing happen on our anniversary. We lost our dog.
Yeah.
So we ended up having an unbelievable. We made up for it weeks later. We ended up going and seeing The Accountant too, which was
it good?
Such a good movie.
Was it good?
Oh my god, it was unbelievable.
yeah, I want to see it.
And it's the type of movie that you can take your kids.
Yeah.
You could take the wife.
Yeah.
You could take everybody. You know, it was just all around. It really was. It was an awesome, awesome movie. And the character Ben Affleck plays, he just plays it perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you really.
I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just. And it was
been
good.
a while.
It was a little more personal in this one. But anyway, we ended up doing that, and then we got manicures and pedicures, and I got them.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Look at you.
Nice
it was-
day.
hey,
This kid from Revere over here.
I got pampered up, and the little Asians loved me. So they took a video of me and they posted on their page.
Probably recognize you
I
from
was
before.
like, I was thinking so, but I mean, wall rents. Anyway, all right. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Brendan, thanks for coming.
Thank
up
you very
here
much
and
for
hanging
having me,
out
guys.
with
I
us.
had a blast.
And we're looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
And
Nick, great to meet you.
You too, man.
Yeah.
all right, thanks. Oh shit!
What a way to end it. It's like,
I don't know. The yellow
thing
button.
sucked.
The yellow button is the same. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.